But hey,
I'm ready for Finn to be the fuck out of school. I'm tired of having to take him and pick him up.
exactly.
Go in and hang
Or
out.
at least have him go by himself, right? With,
Well, I'm just happy.
Yeah.
I get kids are in college, but a little bit different now. I mean, I would say I have one kid who's on semester. I don't even understand. They call it semester system, but they really have three. They have trimesters really, because there's always the summer period. And my youngest is on what they call quarter system,
Mhm.
which is actually 4 quarters, but they only go to three of them.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
Well, the school trips are good. The school trips we got here are pretty awesome. And like, she went to the Yankee game 2 days ago. The Yankees won the
okay. Well,
games.
what's the educational value of that?
There isn't. There's again, like I said, they're trying to just get rid of them.
That's not even. That's okay.
So they
These
got to the
schools
Yankee game.
trying to pretend that there was a.
At this point, they don't care. The at this point, all they want to do is do what they got to do to get to through the hump, right? So there, it's nothing educational now. The grades are in for the most part. Like they had a parent teacher conference this week, and I'm like, why do I need to know if I know my daughter's already passing? Why do I need to have this conversation with you? You know what I mean? I go the rest of the week, but at the end, we're just a few weeks over, till we're done. So so you got that. So they got the Yankee game today. Yes, a couple of days ago, and today she's going to the Blue Man Group.
What grade is she in?
She's a middle schooler, so she's in the 7th grade.
Her school sounds awesome.
Yeah, that's New York City. When you have those, that's for them. That's tax breaks. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. They'll say for education today, we're gonna watch baseball.
And they won, so that was a good thing. They beat the Oakland Athletics.
Is that a large accomplishment, or is that like a scrimmage
Well,
game?
we were having this conversation not that long ago about the A's.
Yeah. Yeah, it's no big achievement to beat them.
But it was a nice beatdown though.
Again, not much of an achievement. Pretty much what you would hope. If they don't, you're gonna go, well, self reflection time.
Yeah, right.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Friday.
Good morning.
Izzy, how did the sketchy show go?
It was awesome. Let me show you. I was about to take out what I did. What I did yesterday.
Careful what you whip out there, buddy.
Oh yeah. So this was there was a request for a flash, so I did that one. There we go. That was the flash I did, and then someone said Dazzler, so
Was
I
it
went
Gary
ahead
B?
I don't even remember who it was, to be completely honest.
It seems
Oh,
like
look
it
at
should
that! That looks cooler. All right, so it's hard to see it in the image, but she has like gold locks. So I did like a glittery type pen, but it's hard to see it. But there you go. Those are the two
Very cool.
pieces. You had actual Dracula. He did a Doctor Doom. My friend Sean was doing a Conan, and Stephanie was still working on her Poison Ivy. I don't think she didn't get to finish it, but man, that Poison Ivy is gorgeous. So that was
Awesome.
really cool. Yeah, I'm trying to remember who else. Oh yeah, Shops came out. He did a Thor. Shops for Comics. He did a Thor. That was pretty cool. He did it through his iPad. Trying to remember who else showed up. We have my friend Enoch also showed up. He did a Iron Fist, which came out really cool as well. Good solid 2 hours of guys and girls just drawing and talking. So it was fun, man. Can't wait to do it again. I don't know when I'm gonna do the next one because the movie season started really, and there's a lot of movies.
Are there?
Yeah, just a little bit, But
What's on your movie radar?
well, next movie is gonna be Spider-Verse, so got to see that. That's in 2 weeks. Flash, of course. I'll see Flash. I'll see Blue Beetle.
Transformers is
Transformer.
in June also. I think that Fast 10 is in June as well.
Yeah. June is loaded. I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna see Little Mermaid.
I know my wife and Monkey are going to go see it. I don't know if I will. Like if I'm working that weekend, I'll probably just naturally sit it out, and if not, I'll definitely go.
Yeah, I heard the girl's awesome though. The girl who's playing the Little Mermaid, she's amazing. Her voice.
I haven't heard of it.
Halle Bailey, that's her name.
She
So
played Catwoman, right?
yeah,
I haven't stopped to click on anything or care to read anything for it because I'm kind of indifferent toward it. I've seen the trailers; they look plenty entertaining.
it's the same movie.
If I didn't have a 3-year-old daughter that wanted to see it, I would just
Hmm.
Be
kind of
like
take it or
me
leave
and
it.
ignore it.
Yeah, take it or leave it.
Yeah. Well, we took our daughter when the Broadway play was up. We took her years ago. So she, so that's Little Mermaid's her favorite.
I would swim around on the stage.
You did it. They just had her like planted places. You know what I mean? So yeah, so like okay, she's on the
Roll around like
rock.
a fucking
So
scarecrow. Just proper.
yeah, they just prop her. So all they had was like they'll have her fin, and she's pretty much either standing or sitting somewhere,
I'm
and
sure
then
it
you
looks
just see
cool the way they do it.
they had some movie, some
I
Broadway
thought it was
magic.
cool that Lin-Manuel Miranda was working with some of the music decisions
Yeah.
in the movie.
Mhm. And they got Alan Menken back, so he's the one that originally did it. So
Nice. Yeah, I think they got Lynn to update some songs. They always put new music in them,
Mhm.
as well as like just kind of tweak the ones we know. So far, for me, like out of all the live action Disney movies they made, I liked Aladdin the most.
it was a surprise hit, right?
I loved it.
I think what made it good was the fact that Will Smith wasn't trying to be Robin Williams.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
It was a good production all around. I think for me too, like Aladdin was always my favorite one.
Hmm.
And I think that one was the one that released at like the perfect age for me. I mean, they came out regularly, kind of thing, with the Disney cartoons. That was the one that just hit me at the right age where I'm like, that was the most fun I had with
Yeah,
a
yeah.
new Disney
So
when it came.
Little Mermaid kicked it off. So it was like the Disney Renaissance with Little Mermaid. That was like the first one that everybody was going crazy for. Before that, their movies were kind of like the dog movies and things like that that no one really was caring about.
Well,
Um,
yeah, Cinderella, Snow White, Robin
yeah,
Hood,
but we're talking about in the '80s.
Pinocchio.
So in
Oh
the
yeah,
'80s, they had
Fox
like
and
the
the
Great
Hound,
Mouse Detective. They had
The Rescuers,
the
Fox and the Hound,
Rescuers. I'm trying to remember this one movie. It was
Aristocats.
about some dogs in New York. I can't remember what it's called.
I love.
Oliver and Company. Oliver and
Oh
Company.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
They
I
they
think
were
some of
banking
the
hard
ones
on
that I
that one.
named might have been that competition company too.
Yeah, yeah, they were banking hard on that one because they got like Elton John, they got Billy Joel, and the movie tanked. So, but when Little Mermaid came out, that started something, and then you got
It
Beauty and the
started Disney
Beast,
throwing
Lion
dicks
King.
everywhere.
The only thing I'm interested in seeing is Sebastian because he looks weird.
He looks like a crab.
He looks like a crab, but just looks weird.
It's weird seeing Sebastian look like a crab.
Look like a
You
crab.
know what's crazy is I always thought the little guy was a lobster, just because like I don't know.
He should have been a lobster to tell you the truth.
Give him some more like size to him. But I
Seemed
think it's cool that they're doing like. I mean, it's weird looking at it. It is. I don't think they look wrong or they look bad, but it's weird looking at it because they're drawn as cartoon characters. They're not drawn as realistic depictions of the animals. So when you see them as that, your brain's like,
Yeah, like what's wrong with this guy?
yeah, this girl's definitely convincing as Ariel just from the trailers, you know. And then you see Sebastian walk up, you're like, yo, whoa.
Well, you
It's
figure
in
like
your eyes, man.
flounder, that's a fish, so there wasn't much changes there, so that one worked. But oh well, like I said, let's see how they do. It's probably a paint by numbers type of thing with them. I'm pretty sure because that's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing people saying that it's the same movie pretty much. They may have added a thing or two here. You know what I mean? So
It was the laptop, Rob.
Hmm?
It was on the laptop.
so my ears aren't wrong.
No, despite your age.
Phenomenal.
So that's a win.
It's good to know that my years of audio production still fall in there properly. That I can identify Cheap
Real
ass
life
microphone.
Sebastian is a real life nightmare. He needs to be a cartoon. Well, it's not a cartoon though. That's the thing. Like all these live action, like y'all know, I'll happily baptize Disney any chance I get. But it doesn't make sense for Sebastian and Flounder to not look realistic because it's a real life film. That's how they've done all the live action movies. You know,
Well, the Beauty and the Beast was probably close to it. They look the real thing, right? And in the other movies, they like the what was the name of the monkey in Aladdin?
Abu.
Abu. Yeah, there you go. Abu was an actual monkey, so no one
Yeah.
complained about it.
Yo, and like fake because in the cartoon, Flounder's like a heavy set fish. You know what I'm saying? Like got the cheeks and everything, and then you see Flounder like thin as shit,
Like a flounder.
like a
Like
flounder.
a flounder.
Yeah. There's going to be a curveball by the end of it. Baloo's just going to grab him and eat him out of a river.
Nice.
Well,
And walk off singing the bare necessities.
We got 2 new songs, Shattered said. And also, I did see an article. It's like one of those. It looked like one of those pages that do like the Beatty articles. They're like woke Disney changing Little Mermaid for PC culture, and what they legit are in this case. They had Lin-Manuel Miranda rewrite the lyrics to "Kiss the Girl" because it sounded non-consensual to them. And then in this date and time, you don't just get to kiss a girl. I'm like, that's legit what they were saying. I'm like, dude, that's not what the song is saying. That you just get to go around and kiss a girl. Like they both,
Well,
No,
isn't
you
the whole
grab her
concept
by
they
the-
both
of the
were
movie-
bated breath in love with each other. You know,
But
what
isn't the
I'm
whole
saying?
concept of the movie that she needs to get kissed? That's the whole thing.
Well, not just that, but like if you take that out of it in that scene, in that moment in The Little Mermaid, there's nothing unconsensual about it. They're both sitting there waiting for the other
She
one to
wants
kind of
it.
make a move.
Yeah,
You can
it's
tell she
consensual.
wants
He
it.
wants
Just
him.
look
they-
at her.
That
Look the way
sounds
she's
creepy,
dressed.
Rob.
Wait,
He like she wants it, man.
She can get it. What's his name? Eric?
Eric,
red? What? No.
That's a different Eric.
exactly.
Eric the Redbush. Redbeard.
Red Bush.
Well,
Say, Izzy, you might have
Mark's
picked this up.
assuming that the carpet matched the drapes.
Yes, I am. Well, did you pick up one of those?
Oh,
when
I picked that up a while ago when it first came
Yeah.
out. It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking. I love Alex Ross. Like I was watching him build up to this project and everything, you know. And when it came out, I'm one of those people. I'm terrible about paying attention to anything outside of my pull list, which I'm okay at keeping up with.
Yeah.
That's why I go early to my shop because I know that I'm always going to miss something. But
Well,
when they
it
came
was
in,
a sleeper. Yeah, it was a sleeper. It was like a soft announcement.
well, if
so
you
it
follow
just came out
Alex
of nowhere.
Ross, there's nothing sleeper about it.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone follows Alex Ross.
Mm-hmm. But
But when
as
it
far
came out,
as
there was
like,
only a couple at
public-
the shop,
yeah,
and they were accounted for. Like it was people that had ordered them. So
it's gorgeous, dude.
luckily, when the
slipcase cover's
shop
nice.
moved, when we just moved the shop, some stuff like came for sale where people didn't pick it up, you know, after they had ordered it. So I'm like, yes. So I
Yeah,
got it.
you got a good book there. The artwork, he changed his style for it.
The coloring
So
is great.
Yeah, it's very vibrant.
It's like the 70s.
Yeah. So I will say it is definitely like, even if you don't read it, just look at it. You know what I mean? It's like
It'll be both.
just to look at it, it's like, wow.
Good morning, Freaky Louie. Tyler Flash Ray Videos is in the building. Actual Dracula. Good morning. How are you? She is literally trying to get him to kiss her. Her not being able to tell him is her difficulty. So the song Sebastian sings is "Kiss the Girl." Disney is outside of their minds with some shit. Yeah, Disney is legitimately outside of their mind. That's
It's
why
not
I'm
not
on.
like they said slip the girl roofie. I mean, come on.
Exactly. That's for numerous reasons. I'm
She
very
wants it.
opposed to Disney.
Yeah, she wants it.
They're a psychotic company. My carpet matches the drapes. Business in the front, party in the back. I'm talking about hair, and yes, it looks strange.
So here's my question. So in the original animated movie, Ursula decides to take the voice and becomes human to get Eric, and then hypnotizes Eric, right, to marry him, right? Being that it is Michelle McCarthy, right? Michelle McCarthy, that's her name? Melissa McCarthy. I said Michelle. Melissa McCarthy playing the role of Ursula. When she turns, I guess you could say human, who's gonna play the role? It's not gonna be Melissa, is it?
Why not?
It is her. Like, have you seen the images of her?
Of her transforming into a human form?
No, I mean like of her in general. Like
No,
even
in her
even
as Ursula, I
Ursula.
seen it. Yeah,
Yeah,
that I
I
seen.
mean, yeah,
I'm
of
talking
course.
about her transformation to
I
to
I think it is.
hypnotize Eric.
I know, like in the cartoon, she was more like of a seductive, attractive
Yeah,
female.
a brunette, right? An attractive brunette.
She
So
had the eyebrows to let us kids know she's still a
she's
villain.
evil.
Yeah, we see it. How doesn't he see it?
You know,
He's
and
a
she had black hair because you have to have
yeah.
black hair to be if you're evil. Because all the blondes are the good ones.
I'm sure they'll just use her. I can't imagine them not doing it. We can tighten up these lyrics. You got Lin Manuel on a retainer. Take another pass at it. Yo, I'm all for Lin Manuel Miranda. I just think that they're BS reasoning, but like they update songs on all their other ones as well. So why did they have to come up with some kind of look at how awesome we are type bullshit? They're on some fake morality bullshit. They're just it's the most soulless company I've ever seen in existence in my life.
It's just changed the song
My wife
altogether.
just walked in with her hair all crazy and goes, Disney? Yeah, yeah. Talking about how they update their songs and their live action stuff, which is normal, but they're updating a Little Mermaid one on some kind of, oh, this song talks about like kissing a girl without consent. And that ain't how we live life no more. Like,
You can't
like
change that song.
other
It's
than-
epic.
they're just updating it. Like they update all of them, but they're
Where
coming
does
up
it go?
with
Ask the girl if you can kiss her.
yeah.
Ask
I know.
It doesn't
I
Sign
told
this
you-
waiver. Please
I
sign
think-
this waiver
yeah,
before you kiss her.
the love contract from
May I
Chappelle's
kiss
show.
you?
She's gonna pull out the love contract.
Say, may I kiss you to the girl?
Yeah, I think they have Lin Manuel Miranda.
Started that ban on Baby It's Cold Outside.
Probably, they have Lin Manuel Miranda.
Go on
working
and
for them, updating
send
it.
her
I
a
think that's
message
one
and
that-
ask her if it's all right if
yeah,
you
so
go
put
out.
these stupid little things.
Email the girl. That should
Lin Manuel is working on one.
Message her.
Yeah,
Do
exactly.
you like me? Yes or
I think
no?
none of us are going to hear the song anyways because that weird
May I
ass
kiss you?
Sebastian is
Yes
going
or
to be
no?
there with a mandala or something.
No, but you got the bird. What Scuttles?
That parody to Do You Wanna Be
Oh man, I want to see
No.
just for that scene.
That's a good one.
Seen?
Tyler said, "Sing it with me now, sha la la la." Don't be shy.
You know you want to ask her for consent.
I think the is it okay to kiss me, girl?
It's gotten to a point where unless you're actively logged onto a dating website, there's no way to approach or talk to somebody in terms of dating. It seems like I'm super happy that I settled down. I married way up.
Way to save it, not say it's settled.
Oh, I didn't. I definitely didn't settle.
Yeah.
I'm still shocked every day that I tricked her.
I like actual Dracula's comment. He's like, no one has consent to kissing Sleeping Beauty, so she dies in her sleep.
Yeah, the good one. No one has consent to kiss Sleeping Beauty, so she dies in her sleep.
Like, I can't do it, man. She's sleeping. That'd be wrong.
Yeah, that's why they hadn't
Die.
touched that one. That's definitely why they haven't remade that.
You
Well,
must
that's
DM
what-
the girl.
DM the girl.
Pretty boring, right? Her just playing there the whole movie. Jesus.
The whole movie. It's just a portion of
You must DM the girl.
No, DM the girl.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's gonna be funny. Now all I'm gonna do is watch this movie and just think all those lines.
I'm gonna be thinking of Rob and your commentary while I watch it.
Yeah, it was much easier when I could just date a girl in
I don't know which one
high
to go
school.
with. Uh-uh.
Well,
I boxed up 2 packages last night to ship off. One's going to Australia.
the alternative version instead of the Disney version will be the Trump version, though.
You gotta grab the girl.
Don't ask at all. Just reach right over and grab the girl.
When, don't ask, don't tell. You gotta kiss the girl.
Well, don't ask, don't tell. That's a different one.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Wait. So here's
Wakes
the
up
lyric.
immediately, demands him be canceled, despite her life being saved.
Cancel the girl. That's what you're trying to Here's the lyric. She's with me. Sing with me now. Sha la 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 la. Oh my. Look at the boy. Too shy. Ain't gonna kiss the girl. Sha la 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 la. Ain't that sad? Ain't it a shame? Too bad he's gonna miss the girl. Those are the lines. I don't see much problems with the lines of this movie. With this song, I mean.
In all seriousness, and this is like, I think it's just a
Because
normal
baby,
thing
it's
for
cold
Disney. They
outside.
wanted to get articles running. They wanted to get press on their movie. They wanted people to see that Lin-Manuel Miranda is working on the film. If he's not in front of the camera, how are you going to get that word out there? He is a draw in himself to people that like musicals and stuff like that. He's a big name, and that's a good way to do it. And they're always trying to place himself in some kind of bullshit virtue signal position for stuff that they would do no matter what. Like they don't do nothing on principle. They've proven that by editing their films to release them in foreign markets and everything, and like they have no morality, which they don't have to. They're a corporation, but they sit there and stand on it in front of us and fire people based on stuff like that. But then they make decisions that just
Oh, that's not the only song they're rewriting. They also wrote Ursula's song for Unfortunate Souls.
And then Tyler said there's 2 brand new ones.
Yeah. But they keep saying, I'm looking at this article, and the article they're saying that they're aligning it with modern sensibilities, right? But they're not revealing what the song is, the lyrics to the song.
They might want it to be a surprise. I mean, that'd be like a spoiler in itself, wouldn't it?
Well, it's gonna be one of those sing along moments, right? So you gotta have all the kids singing along with the movie, right? Because I guarantee you, a lot of people are gonna watch the original, and since they watch the original, they're gonna go to the movie and they're gonna try to sing along to it, and then when they find out the lyrics are different, then people are like, "Yo, what happened here?"
You know, on a different note, sometimes I see things that come up in my feed that I really think to myself are like the stupidest things ever. There's an article in my feed featuring Michael Bay and Bruce Willis, or Michael Bay saying, "I will never work with him again because he insulted me." Like, first of all, I don't give a shit whether or not Michael Bay was insulted by Bruce Willis or not. A, and B, Bruce Willis ain't working no more.
Ain't working.
So it's obvious.
Yeah.
It's
Bruce Willis got
completely
some
obvious that
issues
you're never
now.
going to work with him again. It doesn't matter what your freaking song and dance excuse for getting into the news is, because the man's freaking on his way out. Now you want to punch him while he's on his way out, man. That's bad.
Yeah, Bruce Willis is not in good shape these days.
No.
You know,
I'm just amazed by the family dynamic that he's got there with to me. I mean, that, you know,
they're still friends.
Obviously, but I mean the fact that they were like living together during the pandemic. I mean, she just moved in with his family. Now she's moved in with his family now until to help take care of him.
Yeah,
and stuff. I mean, that's crazy. Like,
yeah.
When was the last time you see exes like that?
Hollywood. That's Hollywood.
And let alone a new wife who says, "Yeah, let your ex-wife move on in with the family." And
it's Demi Moore, you know. Kiss the girl, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, you know, but Michael Bay, man, needs to shut up when it comes to things like that. At least don't hit a man while he's down. That's not right. You know, and say what they want to say about, you know, I heard some stories about Bruce Willis being somewhat of a jerk, but based on what I'm hearing, he probably was a jerk because he was already dealing with it, because he's been dealing with that problem long before it was announced.
Yeah.
So, you know, where he's just like not. You could see it. We thought he was phoning in his movies. It wasn't that he wasn't phoning in his movies. That's just how he was. So,
well, and that was a reason why he was playing the same role in every movie.
Yeah, exactly. Death Wish, man. When I heard that movie was coming, I was like, "Oh no, that's not a movie that matters." You see, that's a movie that you shouldn't have done now.
But there's so many like that were done that were like just like video releases and whatnot, and you go through them and you read the thing, and it's like it's the same role, like almost every single time, and you're like, "Oh, but hey, you know what? I don't care. I watched a lot of them because I knew what I was going to get, and that was just I was going to sit down. I knew what I was going to get, and it was going to be, you know, kind of an entertaining throwback, and it didn't matter whether it was original or not."
What is this?
We're talking about Bruce Willis and his movie library over the last maybe 10 years,
15 years, something like
Most
that.
of that's been direct to video.
They
Yeah,
pretty much
yeah, he did a
evolved
lot
the
of direct to video, a lot of stuff that was um, very similar role. But
Y'all see his what was it, Death Wish?
yes,
No, I was just talking. I didn't see it, but I saw the clip. I saw the clips, and I said, "Next."
It was like it felt like it toward the end there. Bruce knew that he was winding down. He's like, let me just put in as much as I can, pad this account for the ones I love, and
Well, a lot of it was his agency. His agency was like just getting him jobs and stuff, and they weren't really supposed to get him jobs. He wasn't supposed to be working at that time. He was
I mean,
already at
that's
that point.
easy to say no, I'm not coming.
Well, that's the problem. He didn't have the ability to say no. There was a little bit of that going on, kind of like what was happening to Stan Lee in last years of his life.
And Lee was abused in the last years of his life.
Pretty much the same
he's
way.
still alive.
Yeah, he's with Elvis.
Holy potatoes! Look at that.
Yeah, it's gorgeous, isn't it?
It smells good.
New book smell.
Yeah, and it's like it's semi gloss. Like, man, let's see if that'll get it.
Yeah.
That's not really gonna get it. Like the letters on it.
Yeah.
It's like those DC Black Label books, you know.
Oh, it's in Boston. I got my copy here. Let me see.
It's flat, but like it's like this isn't gloss, so this is gloss. The red in the letters is not, so it's semi gloss. You feel the letters, Izzy?
He hasn't. They didn't. Now he's got his ears back in.
You feel the letters how they're not glossed. Gives it cool
Good
texture.
cop of feel, Izzy. Reach right up in there, feel
Use
it.
the tips and rub it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you like that, huh?
But yeah, they're cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Kiss the book.
This is very well done. The way that they did this inside dust jacket reminds me of the DC books that he did. Those oversized format DC books. Where's that one, Scott?
I specifically like the little hologram.
Holy
I like
Logo.
it. Yeah, you can
shit.
see right through things.
Yeah.
I just opened up to this crazy Annihilus page.
Yeah, it's sick, man. When, like I said, when you're gonna enjoy reading it. Just look at this. Look at this inside. Look at this inside piece.
It's like Ross is doing his Kirby.
I think that was part of it. He wanted to pay homage to Kirby by doing this because definitely different. And even in the last page, just look at the
That looks
look
like
at the
you should
use
be
of the
on
colors, man.
drugs.
No, it's
Yeah.
very psychedelic. It has some Steranko feel to it. I see a lot of Steranko in his style.
Yeah. Reminds me of that first Nick Fury cover. Like,
Yeah.
what was he thinking?
Because I'm gonna have to look into this again, but I don't think because he likes using gouache. But I don't think this does not look like it strikes me as
Yes,
gouache.
yes, it is Flash Ray.
Yeah. No, and yes. I mean, he's doing a cover for the regular
I
FF.
like
but
that on Beckerman.
this is Fantastic Four
yeah.
Full Circle, which is it's a standalone, oversized hardback story that Alex Ross did himself. He wrote this too, right?
Yeah, he did. He wrote it too.
So
Yeah,
what you're
this is
saying is that it's a
one-
Fantastic Four book and it's by Alex Ross.
Yeah, I just didn't want to get it confused with the other Fantastic Four books that
So,
Alex Ross
yes,
is doing every
Flash
month.
Ray. It is the Alex Ross Fantastic Four book.
But it's Full Circle to be specific.
So he
And don't just go to
actually
your comic shop and grab. Oh, here's Alex Ross Fantastic Four. Look for Full Circle.
so he definitely wrote it. He did the script. He had help with the colors.
That makes
Josh-
sense.
Josh Johnson.
That's better than the other Joss.
Yeah.
Joss Mahomed.
That's the one.
I like this image of Thing, and like it's in like the third page. Thing has his foot up.
Dude, every time you hold it up, I feel
I
like
know you got the got the see through.
it looks fantastic. It's been a few days now. Well, for Rob, it's been more days, but yesterday was, I think it was yesterday. You want to recap how the Short Box Live was? You don't have to reveal any of your books if you want, but you want to talk about the event because it looked pretty cool from your extremely long video.
Like a long video. What was
I want to point out 30, and I did the math. 37% of the video is just you trying to find your way to the back of the line to get in.
I don't know. I just did a walk by of the video, tried to show how long the line was.
It worked. No, it was
Because
a
I didn't.
fantastic
Because
video.
I was actually up to the very near the front of the line, and like I had no idea how long it was when before we were. And all of a sudden, I was let me go take a look, and I was like, oh my god, this thing just keeps going.
Yeah, the line was definitely long. I do want to say the thing that stood out most about the video was how there were no cars on your drive up there. At
Because
least
I
not
got there early.
Yeah,
Oh.
like there's no cars, there was no one else outside. I'm like, yo, did Rob film this on a different day of the con just to put it in the video?
Yeah.
No, well,
I'm gonna go. That's how planned Rob is.
So, so because like this so Shortbox Live was at the Santa Clara Convention Center, which is like 2.5 miles from my house. And so I don't go on any freeways or anything. It was just like I was going a back way. And so the back way I was going, there's very little places where there's residential and stuff where cars would be. A good portion of the trip is industrial area, which was on a Sunday is a dead area.
Yeah.
So when I'm coming up on the stadium and stuff, for example, like all that area is all industrial area. So
Was
there's
that the
nothing going.
Toyota Stadium? Is that what it was?
Well, there's the Toyota entrance. It's the Levi's Stadium.
Okay,
I
don't know.
Yeah, I know. The Toyota sign was evident there, but it's Levi's Stadium. Is where the 49ers play. And so
To the
yeah,
dad.
and then the way I edited a lot of the video was I edited a lot of cars out of it.
Yeah,
So
I'm looking at the beautiful roads. There's
know,
like
the first
one
thing
car
that
in every scene. Literally,
The first
just
thing I
one
noticed when you walked in is John had fantastic placement, like right there. On
yeah,
the
he
front
was the first
street.
thing you saw when you walked in, pretty much.
Mhm.
It was actually because they had John was on that end, and then there were a
Mhm.
couple artists next to him, a couple on the back side, and then you had on the on the opposite side of the aisle from John was Gerard's and Doc.
And I love how they did their setup too, with like the stage in the middle of the room.
Mhm.
Like that was super cool because I mean
Yeah.
they didn't have like a convention room; they had like it looked like a big ballroom, but that was great. Like to like I don't know,
They
just make
set it up.
fun.
He was talking with uh, Gene, CEO. He said they intentionally set it up. They wanted to get rid of a lot of the aisles and stuff that happens in a lot of cons that people get jammed up in, and there's
Jammed
not
up,
room
yeah.
to move around and stuff. So since it was they had one of the smaller rooms at the convention center because it wasn't a huge con. It was limited in how many people were coming and limited on their vendors. Obviously, it's only a 1-day event. And so getting the fact that they had so many vendors that were traveling from different parts of the country for a 1-day event was pretty decent, pretty surprising in its own right. But
That
they
is
had
a long line.
yeah. Well, there was a sold out event. And then what they did is they had that stage in the middle. Behind it was like the concession stand. So behind the stage was just an area to sit back and eat and everything else. And then everything else was all the vendors were around the outside edge. So the middle was an area that you could kind of just meet and talk to other people and hang out. And they had like their stand where they were selling, the shirts and the exclusives for the con or whatever else. And
I like that you fisted the badge guy.
one of the
Like fist me.
well, those are the guys who are working those tables up. They're YouTubers that are part of their street team and whatnot, or Instagrammers and stuff. So they're not full-time employees of the company. That's like why like Shy Comic Girl and stuff was there. She's on part of their
Is it
street team.
Shy or Chai?
Chai probably, but I pronounce it Shy, like Shy
Yeah,
Town.
I think either one. Chicago,
Yeah.
Chi-Town, whatever.
But yeah, so when you get once we got there, when we pulled up, obviously I got there early, so the parking lot was like
Carlos.
super empty
Hey, Carlos, what's going on, man?
when we pulled into the parking lot, and it was nice. It was free parking. $20 to get in was the ticket price to get into thing, so it was a fairly reasonable price there, and It was just comics. There was I don't think I noticed aside from maybe a little kid wearing some some Batman stuff, and there was no cosplayers at the event. There was no any of that silliness. Just comics, and then like this during the stage there was different. There was like some of the YouTubers like Reggie was up there and
Mhm.
Swaggle was up there. Reggie from Reggie Collects,
From the CBC Awards.
What's
yeah.
a
The Red.
swaggle boss?
Some people call it the
Yeah.
Reggies.
Swaguhas,
So
he's pretty cool. You got to check his stuff out. He talks pretty much about he
Mark's just
I
being
think he
silly.
works for
You're
Go
supposed to even
Collect
spell it.
and gradings and speculations.
Yeah.
It's more of a speculation type show he does.
Yeah,
They're
so the
pretty
guys
sharp.
had guys coming up there at the stage doing different conversations. You could either go sit down and watch it, or you could just listen to it while you're because the room was big open room. You could hear it all from
Mhm.
anywhere where you were at. You didn't have to be there unless you wanted to see whatever graphics they were putting up. And it was a good variety of books. I mean, there were guys that were there that had there were some guys that were there that just had nothing but slabs. There were a lot of guys that were there that had mostly obviously most of the guys had mostly raws, and from there were some people there with some older some golden age stuff and some pulps and some silver. I mean, still a lot of probably bronze and modern stuff, obviously, but and copper. That seems to be the stuff that usually gets hauled out to these things.
Mhm.
Um, just a good variety of different books. I thought that some of the prices on the books were a little high. Most of the people were willing to negotiate and stuff, so that wasn't really a problem. But it was off-putting initially. Some things like I always when I get to a vendor, if I saw like they had a bin full of Amazing Spider-Man, I would like to level set. I'll go, okay, look, I don't need any of these books, but I have an idea what these books have been selling for. So I want to sit there and I'll pull them and I'll be looking at them to see what are you asking for these. Gives me an idea of where you're at in your pricing model for the rest of your books, right?
Mhm.
And so there were quite a few of them where I went, I don't need to spend a lot of time looking through your stuff because you're so high that even if I can get you down to the correct price, it's not going to be a great deal. But there were some that were really good too. So
Mhm.
yeah, everyone likes to say that I should record. I can't really
I think
record a live episode. I could either do a
I think
recorded
all
episode or
the
I could go live.
episodes are live, right? All the Only
Yeah,
Slabs episodes are live.
yeah. I don't really want. I mean, to do something live at an event,
First
and
of all,
that
it's
was
hard.
something. Like, I mean, Gene had approached me ahead of time asking me if I wanted to live stream from the event because he wanted to have some potential some YouTubers live streaming there. But you never know when you get to a convention center what the Wi-Fi situation is going to be like, and you have to bring a lot of equipment to really do it right. It's not like, I mean, at least for me, I do. I don't. I'm not a guy who just goes live from my phone.
Yeah, I think
So
you're right, Rob. If you wanted to do it right, you would need a mic, a couple mics, maybe.
yeah, I don't want to have mics. I don't want to have places that we can sit down. I need to have somebody who somehow has, I have to have a vendor, I guess,
Yeah,
that's there with a
and
bunch
then
of
an
slabs
idea
or
of what you're even doing specifically as well. Like,
Well, you don't when you do something live, and I've done a few things live in shows. It's like you don't know if they could even hear you sometimes,
yeah,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because of the sound, especially a place like that where everything's in the same floor. It's all together, right?
yeah,
So you
Yeah,
have
and
that main
with
stage
my
alongside.
portable camera that I'm using that's on the gimbal and stuff. I wasn't hooking up any of the other mics to it, and I was just using the built-in mic. So I have no idea really how it comes across in that environment. I was actually impressed with some of it,
Yeah.
how it came out when I was but I had to go back and I was muting obviously the sound throughout the thing. But anyways, yeah, it was a fun experience. I mean, I picked up a few books. I mean, if there was I only got one slab though.
I wanted to ask you about that slab as well.
I mean,
So
but before, I mean, I got this
The
John
remark.
Jang. I decided, even though I knew that he was going to be the most expensive guy there for signatures and stuff, I just decided I had this book. Um, Let me go ahead and get it signed, get it remarked, and then I would I will put this aside and I'll use it. I'll put it away for C3.
Nice. The Venom headphones remark is cool.
Yeah, it was weird. So we stopped at his booth first, and he was like, "Oh, hey, can I hold on to a bit? Because I'm, blah blah." I'm like, yeah, take your time. And then like we went by like 4 hours later, and then he hadn't even done it yet, and so he had to stop what he was doing to do it right then and there for us. But that worked out because then I got some footage of him doing it. So, um, yeah, that was out.
So the slab,
Mm-hmm.
it's a UK price variant, I believe is what you said.
All right, let me go right to
The-
it. Let's just
the-
grab that. Let's
because-
not build our way up to it. Well, forget the
My
foreplay.
question
Just go right
is
to the
like,
right to the orgasm. I got
what
it.
does this mean in terms of collecting that book? Is this a lesser version? Was this printed at the same time? Do people still consider it the same?
Right. So there's Mary,
Hi.
the enabler. The
Yeah, it's her
so
fault.
so March. This was released March 1963, the same as the U.S. version.
Flow.
So the difference between the U.S. version and the U.K. version is simply just what denomination is put on there, essentially. So
But what
it's
does that mean in terms of collecting? Because I can go on.
for me, it means absolutely nothing.
Normally nothing, Tyler.
For some
Okay.
people, that becomes something they go, well, it's rarer because there's less of them that were printed than there were of the U.S. version.
But we don't have those numbers.
So yeah, but you can speculate because the country's smaller.
Yeah,
But
really, because I didn't. When you said that, the first thing that came to mind was Pokemon, because it's like different countries have the same cards printed.
Yeah.
All right, I'll fix it. Rob.
So
and they all have different values.
right. So if you go looking this up, this book, the difference is it sells less frequently because there's less of them. Right. It's like
Okay.
at the end of the day, no, up until recently, people didn't really slice and dice them differently. It's more of it's just something you can do to kind of go, oh, well, it's a little bit different because it's the UK instead of the US, whatever. But they released at the same time. It's not like the US version came out later than
Or the Golden Record reprint, or
right.
anything
It's
like
not.
that.
It's not like that. So it's the first version, first time, first original book. Everything else exactly the same. So, yeah. So this one obviously the image on it is pretty clean. The problem with it is, as you can see, there's a lot of old tape residue here. The back cover used to be taped on, and the back cover is missing on this book. But you know what? On my wall, you don't see the back cover, do you?
No,
It has that vintage
amazing,
feel
man.
too, right? So it just
Yeah.
because of all that, it just has this nice little vintage look to it, which makes it nice. And it's kind of faded. The colors are faded because it's not as
Considering
vibrant.
that, you know
But
what, I
it looks good
honestly
to me.
thought. So I didn't think that I would have that book for quite some time. I figured I wouldn't get that book for a couple more years probably. I wasn't looking for it at all. It just happened to be that the price jumped out at me, and I knew, and I said, man, that price just looks like it's a really good price. And then I went and looked it up and saw that it was about, what they were asking was about $900 less than recent sales. And so I was like, all right, I'll look at it. And then looking at it and realizing
I don't want to take it back out of my hands.
well,
Yeah.
no, the thing was is that this
You were having a
particular
kiss the girl moment right there.
It was
weren't you?
obviously-
Looking at it, like,
No
Obviously,
consent.
it was on the
No
wall.
consent,
Buy the
Rob.
book.
It was on the wall, but it was up at the very top and as far away as possible. So I couldn't really tell what kind of, was it like all beat to crap, or what was the, real condition on it. And so I was looking at it. And of course, I'm looking at it, and the guy's like, "Oh, yeah, this is real good, UK variant." And he's like, "Oh, hey, I also have this," and he pulls out this, 0.5 AF-15, right? And he's like, "Oh, this is a real good price too." And I'm like, "Thinking to myself, well, I'm collecting a Spider-Man 1 through 100, and you know what the great part about that is?" He goes, "What?" I said, "AF-15 is not Spider-Man 1 through 100."
How
So
much was
you
the
can just put that aside.
AF-15?
I don't even know. I didn't even
bother
look.
to ask.
I didn't even register it because the price wasn't on front of it, and I didn't care because
You know what? But
Yeah.
that's a wise decision because if he would have given you a price, that could have just been like, oh,
no, it really AF. I am legit when I say, look, I have zero desire. I mean, would I like to have one? Okay, yeah, sure. I'll be real. Let's be honest. But will I ever go out and seek it? I don't see that happening. The book is just so ludicrously expensive.
I don't know what the
A,
minimum. What is the minimum? What does it
I
go for?
I would figure that I don't think
Like
that you can get one for
10,000?
less than 5 figures. Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's come down to something, high four, but still, it's not that's not a figure that I would spend on a comic book.
Mhm.
And I'm not collecting. I didn't say I want to collect the first appearance of Spider-Man. I said I want to collect Spider-Man 1 through 100.
But
That
once you
means
get 1 through 100,
then I can
that-
work on my Batman stuff.
okay.
I can on my Mystery in
That's even harder.
Well, I'm not working on Batman 1 through 100. I'm working on Batman 200 on up.
Okay.
So I was basically Bronze Age on up. And I already have from like 380 on up. So I'm
Okay.
really just focused, but right now I'm primarily focused between my 250 to
So
350
you have
range.
380 to number 1 already?
380 all the way to today.
Oh,
on
the
Batman.
higher numbers.
Yeah,
I thought
higher
you meant
numbers.
up to number 1.
Yeah, no.
It's like, wow.
So
and I'm working on my
Taylor's
Mystery in
like-
Space run.
Taylor's
That's
saying sell 10 1K books and you'll get an AF-15, but based on this conversation, it doesn't matter to you.
well, again, I wouldn't. Yeah, I don't care. It's not what I'm collecting. So, besides, I have that no grade AF-15 facsimile, man.
That's true.
That's
Kind of
you know,
looks like you have the first appearance.
exactly. I have an AF-15. There you go.
No grade. That's so weird.
But yeah. So, anyways, I was hoping. So, Mystery in Space issue 9. I should make myself bigger there. This is a book that, like, I mean, this one's not great. This is like a 2.5, maybe. They have it tagged at because it has some spine split to it. But I've never seen this one where the cover's not roached to crap, other than like in a really high grade. So I was super happy to find a raw copy that wasn't roached.
Looking at it from this perspective, it looks amazing how good it looks.
Oh yeah, Mylar Magic, baby.
Yeah, but still, it looks really clean.
Hearing you say roached in your video as many times as you did, that was my word of the day today.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is issue 30.
You're
So
muted,
these are
Mark.
Golden Age. These are this one here is like 1952, I think it is, or 53. This is like 56. And then this is at the end of the Golden Age, 1957.
Flash Ray says A15 is more expensive than 10K.
Okay.
So
The bangers, of course.
10K. Yeah,
Banger.
10K. I've never seen that book in person, but I saw you.
Banger.
Got a few of them now.
Banger. Banger. The guy had like 4 of them that were all sitting there. I was like, oh.
And they're all newsstands too?
Well, it was 1970s, so yeah.
Mhm.
They would be newsstand by default. But yeah,
My Star Wars one's a newsstand.
that's right. But so yeah, and then I got a bunch of little Batmans, run fillers. This is one that Scott from Hoarder's Hide needs if he doesn't have one already because he's on skis. But nice Joker, the faceless Batman, Riddler.
It's so funny that some covers of the earlier mid Batman stuff are so cool and some are so terrible.
Yeah, like this one. Here we go. These books. Look, these are early Bronze Age, and these are clean. I mean, look at that spine.
Do you plan to grade any of these?
No, they're not worth grading right now. That's for sure. Maybe in 50 years, but.
Well, you got to get ahead of
That
it.
is a
Rob.
disturbing image right there.
Well, they're balls, but yeah.
Not the kids, Batman, not the kids.
These are just these are run filler books. They're not valuable at all. But I mean, it's the bicentennial book.
What's your lowest Batman you have?
101, I think, or one.
So you
Some
have
I have an
you
early
have a low
100s,
one.
but
It's like I don't want to draw his face. I'm just gonna put him going through the wall.
Norin, I had to
That's a
ask
nice one.
Rob because Rob likes to grade books. If you
There you
didn't know, so that's the only reason. I asked.
yeah, no,
Rob, I might as well just grade all 300.
no,
of them.
no,
Why
no,
not?
no.
It's a lot of work, especially now.
That would take up so much space, especially since there's like, you know, you go to the Batman
Well, for
run.
being serious, Rob, you should
Love
be
you, dear.
selling a good chunk of
Bye-bye.
your collection in the next.
Sorry, my wife is walking out the door on the weekend. So give me guys just a second.
You should be
Okay.
selling some of your collection here to cover for that Spider-Man 1 he bought.
He is. He said he's gonna.
Gonna have to.
Yeah. That was his plan anyway.
Even at a 0.5,
That's the
I'm sure
plan
that
that-
book is pretty expensive.
We're gonna come across a Spider-Man ASM 2 now at Heroes Con for like half price. He's gonna be like, oh my god.
I guess I need 2 of them.
Oh, you kidding? I've seen like this as soon as I got home, like in the last 2 days, I've seen an ASM 2 for 1100.
Oh,
And
jump on that.
When you buy
and
it,
an ASM 3 for 12 that were like it was a 3.5 ASM 3, but it
Oh,
was a green
shit.
label. But
It kind of depends on what it is.
right. But I was like, oh, I don't have I'm tapped. It's like
it's like when you buy a car, you don't realize how many there are of that make and model until you're driving around in one. You fucking see it everywhere.
Yeah.
Now that you have your Amazing Spider-Man 1, all the amazing deals you've been waiting for your whole life are going to start
this whole
popping
year.
up.
So what's for sale, Rob?
Yeah, let's talk business.
I want to know what's for sale. And where and when.
Well, I have stuff that's for sale up on Shortbox, but I have to go potentially look for some more stuff. But
I didn't know if you were adding like,
Let's
I'm
get
gonna
down
put
to
these
brass tacks, Rob.
5
Stick
books.
sticky notes with prices on the books behind you, and let's get this fucking
Yeah,
thing.
let's do it. Claim sale on the
Claim sale
community
right
hang.
here.
Claim sale right now. Recouping for a Grail book. Let's fucking go.
I'll
What do you
claim
want?
that second
Adam
print
Strange?
behind you, Rob. I'll
What do you
claim
want
the
for
second
Adam
print.
Strange up there? Where's he at? There he is, right shoulder. What do you want? Showcase 17.
oh, that one that's not for sale.
This is why you're going to be broke the rest of your life. Rob. Come up off something. You gotta let something go. Look,
First of all,
he's
Mark,
nervous. He's thinking about it.
Mark,
Like, no.
when you say broke, there's a different level of broke for
Yeah,
me.
that's true. You have AstroTurf in your backyard. You're allergic to broke.
I'm still flying into Heroes Con first class. I don't know what you're talking about.
That ticket's already paid for. That was paid for before you bought this book.
Of what's on the wall there right now, what I could see selling potentially the world's finest.
It's just a rando, right?
Yeah, it's just a great cover.
Yeah, it's just a 6.0 white pages book from 1946.
That means nothing to me.
But not a key. It's not a key, not a key collector.
It's not
Just the run filler, really.
A lot of Golden Age books aren't in key collector, buddy.
Believe it or not, I'm surprised from playing Guess That Key with Sector 2815 over there, and that guy bringing Golden Age books. There's a lot that are just because they exist at this point.
Yeah,
We were talking about that a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
it was just they don't even. It's not a key. It's not, but it'll just tell you about the book.
Batman 33. This isn't key collector because it's Batman 33.
33, exactly.
That's it.
It'll just have like the credits that you normally see on like the credits page. It'll be like Batman 33, written in quotations by Bob Kane.
This book was written and drawn
by Bob Kane.
By Bob Kane.
Nornrad, the answer to your question, I'm not sure. I would imagine it would maybe only get a 0.5 if they graded it and didn't give it a no grade, because they're going to grade the book that's the original, and then because I've seen some that I should know this because I've seen some that have been graded where they have like
Southern Comic Geek
photocopy wraps or other stuff.
So-
I'm not sure off the top of my head. I don't remember.
Southern Comic Geek had a Hulk 1, right? With
Yeah,
the,
it was a
with the
1.0.
facsimile cover.
Yeah, it was a rewrap. You got it for 1,200.
It was 0.5, I believe, right?
I thought it was a 1.0. It might have been a 0.5.
Okay. But it was graded.
Point
It
five
wasn't
would be
it wasn't
what
a
I
no
would
grade.
expect because 0.5 is an incomplete,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
so the
but
original book is
I don't think
incomplete.
I don't think it was.
Mhm.
It was one of those. I don't remember which one, but it was not a no grade.
And you can get incomplete books higher than 0.5 all day long. It depends on
yeah,
how
there are
incomplete-
some technicalities where that is true.
Yeah, I
It's
don't know.
rare.
Good question though.
Yeah.
You got me.
Becker, you're gonna have to come on here and do Snaggletooth's voice.
I
And
guess
then
I can
sometimes
be
you can get a no grade when you send in a whole book like Rob did.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. So, Rob, here's a
Forgot.
question I have for you. So now that you have an ASM 1.5,
Yeah.
if a 1.0 shows up, would you pick it up?
To upgrade.
Will you
Not
do
in
an
the
upgrade?
immediate, not anytime soon. That's for sure.
Mhm.
Because that would be something where I'd have to. For the most part, I've said there's a couple ASM books that I've said in my collection I'd like to upgrade, but for the most part, I'm not looking to upgrade until I was done with my run.
Mhm.
Then I'd figure I'd circle back because I didn't want to, especially since right now I'm so close, and the capital that it takes to get the remaining books is such that having be double invested short time, even though I know I could move this ASM one and recoup my cost at a minimum, if not actually I could probably sell it for 4K in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
That's still, I don't know, it's
So for you, it's about it. So you, it's more about the completing it rather than the quality. Of it.
yeah, right now that's definitely the case. I don't, and even still, like I'm like looking as I've been looking for like my first 10 books, the first 10 or actually 15 books, maybe I'd like to eventually maybe be able to go back. And I don't know about number one, but I'd like to be able to be at like a 2.5 or better on
Mhm.
most of them. And I am for the most part, like, with the exception of like, I do have like issue 10 and 15, and
Yeah, 15 was the one I remember.
I think 11 11 I need to go back and eventually upgrade, but those aren't 15's expensive, but 10 and 11 aren't really expensive.
Wait for the movie; it might go half price.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's a thought that's out there.
Mhm.
It's not though something that like I go, oh my god, I can't live with this. I got to upgrade right now. It's like I wanted to get 1 through 100 all slabbed, and I'm like fucking an eyelash from having it done. Um, although I have to be controlled because I thought this year I'd get one book off of my list that I needed.
You're
'Cause at
gonna
the
end up getting them all, man.
Well, just about because at the beginning of the year I needed.
You know where he gets that mentality from, Tyler?
Arnie.
His Pokemon collecting.
Of the
No,
four of us, he has the second most Pokemon slabs.
He's got to collect them all.
13, 14.
Probably, yeah, fucking.
Yeah, my Pokemon collection
1,
just
2,
went up because of
3.
Rob, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, so at the beginning of the year, I needed 10 books, and for my run, and I've knocked out 8 this year, and
So
that's
you just
one.
need 2?
Yeah, 2 and 3, right?
Oh yeah, I guess for everyone who's listening here, there's another book there's one book that I have that hasn't been unboxed yet, to the public. So yeah, I've just 2 actually. Teaser for next Monday's mail call.
There you go.
Another
Talking about
fucking-
bangers, right?
You
The Holy
just
Grail
you
has
just
just
need
continued.
number 2, or you need 2 and 3.
2 and 3.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So
Those are good books. You should look out for those.
so I've picked up like 8 of these books, and it's like I didn't have intention to pick up that many of them at all. I thought I'd pick up one. When I picked up that one Craven
What,
book, I thought that was like, okay, that was going to be it for the year. And
what
it just
month is it
happened.
again? It's May.
I know. And the thing is it's just that the way that the market has dipped, the opportunities presented themselves one after another at times where it's like, I just was like, oh my God, I got to take advantage of this. I mean, when I picked up this, my ASM 14, right, I paid $1,200 for it. It just sold, a 2.5 just sold the other day for 1,700. So I'm, go, okay, well, shit, I just got, that's a good deal. And there's been things like that where I've just been able to get some deals on stuff, or situation where, a couple people were able to work with me on a payment plan, over 2 payments to, to be able to get something. But it has put a dent in my cash flow. I will say I have a lot less disposable cash laying around right
Doesn't
now.
sound like it. It sounds like your cash is flowing out just fine.
Right. Well, it's the income part of it. Yeah, that's the problem with being a collector, and not wanting to let anything go is it's harder and harder to. And also the problem with it's nice to be buying in a down market. If you're trying to sell stuff
In the down market, it's not that good.
to recapitalize, to refill your coffers, yeah, it's not the time for that either. So,
Mm-hmm.
Well, that looks amazing.
anyways.
Something about when somebody's holding a figure, it looks so different to me than just a picture of it.
The size, for one.
Yeah,
But
it looks way better with you holding it.
That is so nice the way they did the work.
Yeah,
Look at that.
I really think this is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Does his visor come off?
This one does not.
Does the gun retract inside his leg?
So it comes with different attachments, so it doesn't actually go into his leg. I don't know if you remember this movie. The guns, when they come out, they actually extend.
Mm-hmm.
Like they compress and go in, like the stocks and everything on them.
I saw that movie in an airplane. That one.
Were you in first class like Rob? Like Rob over here who flies first?
No. It was economy.
So you were with the people.
I was with the people. Yeah. That was us commoners. You know what I mean? We can't afford getting any ASMs. Even the last one that came out, we can't afford it.
The last one came out, was that like an $8 book?
Yeah, shit. I can't do it, man. It's not in my budget, man.
That's right. I mean, it's
not in my budget, man. I can't do it, man.
This one fits in there great. Boom, that's the one. Yep. The smaller gun looks even better in there.
That's what he keeps telling himself.
It's really cool. But these things, the little pieces, they just come out, and there's different points on the inner leg where there's little places to put them in, and then you just have the main cover that just goes right back on it.
Oh yeah, let me show you guys what someone gave me. I'll be right back.
I don't see your herpes.
Yeah, if he comes back with his pants off.
She has that rash looked at, man. I mean,
you're talking about Sebastian earlier. These are crabs.
It's going to be an I love you note written with magazine cutouts.
Oh, goodness.
So my girls, were at my mom's house, this week for a few hours, and she's like, when you come home, I got something for you. Usually when she tells me that, it's because she has like food or something like that, and I'm like, oh yes, Spanish food, I'm happy, But instead, she had this.
Holy shit!
Oh, a giant,
bro.
It's taking up the whole screen. Look at that thing.
Literal child.
A literal.
I was like, what the heck? Why?
I think you misspoke. Thank you.
Oh no! So no, I just went what?
He's like, I wasn't thankful. Where do I put this?
This is going to be a giveaway, guys. I'm not keeping this.
I think Hit's head is as big as yours.
Well, yeah. Look at this thing. Takes up the whole screen.
That's going to be a big box to ship it in too.
Oh, that's
He's
what I
just
was
going to stick the shipping label right on that
put it
box.
right there, right there. Mhm. I just
You should,
looked
you
at
know
like,
what? Actually, you should do, Izzy, when you go to ship it, is put it inside of a manila envelope and write "Do
Yeah.
not bend."
no, just get it. You know how you get the paper bags? And just
Yeah,
put
yeah,
it inside a paper bag. Just fold the
yeah.
paper bag and then
Use
put
use a
fragile
mile of
sticker.
packing tape and write "Do not bend."
Well, real quick, guys, I do want to say good morning to Becker, and I do want to point out that he is here for a purpose, and I'm sure we don't have him for long, but if you look at his name, it says pretty much Bob Kane, and it says that for a reason. He asks, when you're speaking on Bob Kane, to speak on him in the proper voice, and this is exactly how Bob Kane sounds.
So, Mark, I heard you had my name in quotation marks. This sounds like another friend of Jerry Robinson trying to get credit for something that was clearly Bob Kane's.
That's legit how he talks.
Yeah.
Is he
Yeah.
alive?
Bob Kane?
No.
Bob Kane's been,
So not not
He's been
anymore.
gone since the 90s.
he's
But
been gone for a
he basically
while.
sounds like Snagglepuss.
He does.
Yeah. Oh,
And I
man.
always have
Stan,
to,
you wish you had created something as significant as the Batman.
and it's always important to point this out. He wears an ascot,
Yes, and not ironically.
not ironic.
Well, he wore an ascot.
Yeah.
Well, he
Mark
probably
Not
still is
anymore.
wearing an
Probably
ascot.
still has one on, is
He
he?
probably still has it on.
Mark, did you send me the picture of him in that damn cape?
Yeah.
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 Oh God, that thing is just. Who
That's
wears a
actually
cape?
awesome. Bob Kane does. The best part is it was an accessory to his white tuxedo he was wearing.
Yeah. Guy was
So
a
it's
jerk.
good.
Was this tuxedo one of those like ones you took in senior high school portraits, where it's really just the collar that goes around and only like a bib, and then you put the jacket on
so-
over it?
When he
I just
went
picture
to
him being like,
19
"Honey, have you seen my cape?"
So when he went to the 1989 world premiere of Batman in 1989,
Really? Is that when he did it?
I was putting context to which movie it was. He was alive for a lot of them. He
Well,
rode
you
in a
said
limo-
'89 Batman.
he rode in a limousine there with his plus one, which was like a really good friend of his, and it was
That's a
Stan
friend.
Lee. And him on the way there, like they were talking, having fun, and when they pulled up, they see this crowd, this amazing turnout that really just changed the name of the game for comic movies. And they're looking at it, and Stan's giving him his congratulations, and Bob tells him, Stan, one day you might have a character as popular as the Batman. And then he proceeds to get out of the car, grab his cape, and spread it out. And it's white cape for his white suit with black trim. It says the Batman on the back in the famous font. And that's how he hits the red carpet. I'm like, bravo, Bob. Like, that is amazing. And Stan supported it. Like they have like a loving, competitive friendship. They were really great friends. Stan had more friends than that Bob didn't like, but both
Jerry
of them
Robinson.
Yeah,
Any friend of yours, Stan, is not a friend of mine.
yeah, that's an actual quote.
That is a real quote. If you've never watched the Stan Lee interview of Bob Kane, which is available on YouTube in 4 parts, it is by far one of the funniest, not intentionally funny interviews you've ever seen. But when they start drawing, like somebody ended up with those.
Yeah, there's drawings.
I hope they
out
still
there on
exist.
11x7 that Bob Kane and Stan Lee drew together. Separate images, same images.
A Stan Lee Spider-Man head and a Stan Lee Popeye, along with a Joker. And what else did Bob draw on there? I think Bob tried to draw a really terrible Spider-Man.
I don't think Bob would try to draw a good one, if we're being honest.
Right.
Bob tried to draw whatever he could try to draw. Whatever
Yeah,
worked for him.
He wasn't a good artist.
Yeah.
Well, he also explained the intentional simplicity of his style of artwork and why he always kept it simple, because the industry was not back then is not what it is today. It didn't have the same expectations. It wasn't nothing similar at all. And one thing that you would try to do is create characters and draw them in a way that it's easy for the next person behind you to draw, because you're not expected to be running on this character and be a renowned artist. Like, you created the character. You're the creator of the character. Now it's up to the next person to come in and draw my creation if they want a fucking job. And you keep it simple and consistent so they can come in and draw it the same way. And one thing where Stan was a game changer in the industry, he was big on everybody drawing the character in their own style, in their own format. And that moved on beyond just the drawing of comics. That was like, he wanted to see people bring Spider-Man to life in Japan with a giant robot. He wanted, like, Stan wanted to see everyone's ideas on stuff, but that isn't how the industry was.
There's different schools of thought. There's the Bob Kane, make it easy for the next guy to draw, and then there's George Perez doing Jack of Hearts.
Yeah, but that was the same reason why someone like Kirby, when you look at Kirby's early work, it looks pretty much like everyone else's stuff, and then that's when he's like, "Oh, nah, I'm gonna do my thing."
Sounds like the Penguin was based on Bob Kane. Yes.
Sounds like Bob Kane was based off Penguin.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's, it's kind of like the animators' approach to drawing, right? The animators have to draw the same, so
Yeah.
Bob
Kane actually worked on very, very little Batman.
So let's talk about that awesome RoboCop you got there. Are you going to display that next to your Sting?
It's been right here for the past few days. I guess those videos wouldn't have come out yet. It's been right there since I got it.
I don't watch your content, Mark.
That's not true. I make sure you do now.
I know.
He goes straight to your house. He's like, hit that subscribe now.
No, what he does is he puts in all these damn Becker Easter eggs, and I got to see what he's saying about me. Because next thing I know, people start sending me crappy art.
There's the other side. Yeah. I don't know why I started doing that. It's just to amuse myself, I think. Actually, I'm sure that's why. I just like amusing myself.
I mean, say what you will. I'm reading Norrin Rad's comment. Say what you will about Stan and Jack. I don't think they were ever as good separately as they were together.
No. Let's see. Stan was bad about making books his way, and Kirby did a lot of the story of Fantastic Four, but Stan would completely ignore what Kirby wrote. Did Kirby write anything?
I don't think Kirby wrote.
So what he's referring to is a real thing. The Marvel method. Kirby would plot. So Stan
would just verbally tell him an idea. Kirby would sit down and draw the entire story. And
theoretically, that was supposed to happen, but as Stan got busier, that didn't happen. That's why we had the whole Wally Wood situation.
Yeah, Kirby doesn't get as much credit for that kind of stuff as he should.
Because Wally said, "Screw you! I want both paychecks." And Stan got so outraged, he went into Daredevil issue 10 and just trashed to the fans Wally Wood. Like he got on the soapbox and just gave Wally Wood the business, and Wally was like, "Screw this! I'm going into advertising."
No.
Theoretically, you were supposed to sit down with Stan and plot, but as Stan got busier, Stan stopped doing that.
Yeah, so his was very basic, and he was like, you pretty much do your thing, and then when I come out, I'll just script it.
I'll put words on top of it after you've already drawn the story.
Yeah, that's why we get the famous Magneto scene where in X-Men #1, where you just see all that writing over his head.
And just think, in all sincerity, think how like we've never had a creative duo like them two ever since then, and we never will again. I guarantee it. That's 1 in a trillion. That those two were so in tune with each other that Jack Kirby could draw an entire comic off of a conversation they had, and Stan can come in and just add the words afterwards. Like that's you just don't see that. Like you've never seen it since then.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of other great duos,
Fantastic Four is a rip on the Challengers of the Unknown. Like, God, one of the Challengers' name is like Blaze or Fiery or even Storm, something like that. Like one of them's name is Rocky, for God's sakes. The thing, like that's the Marvel method if you want to get down to it. X-Men with Doom Patrol, everything. Yeah, Fantastic Four is Challengers of the Unknown. Like it's
Deadpool's Deathstroke.
Now I'll give
Not
Marvel.
anymore.
It gets
Not anymore,
Submariner.
but
It gets Submariner. I don't even give them Man Thing because that was like it's fun looking at how they go back and forth, and it is the fans that win ultimately in the end. But figuring out how they rushed out Man Thing in a scuttle to get it out right before Swamp Thing, because Swamp Thing was on the way, and they're like, oh shit, they have a swamp monster, we need one, and send it.
call it Man Thing.
Mark, where do you rank Claremont and Byrne with
For what?
as a duo? It only lasted for 3 years.
I don't ever could
It's
think
really
about them.
good.
I'm not saying anything bad about them. I'm saying that's just not something that I think about. Hey, Monkers.
Look,
I would have to
Claremont
spend
clearly
some
wrote.
time to give it an
Claremont
honor.
clearly wrote his stuff, and Byrne was just the artist. Even though I'm
That's-
sure they did some collaborations and law, but Claremont did most of the writing.
Claremont worked the Marvel method, though. So again, you have interpretation. Claremont acknowledges that John Byrne's the one that made Wolverine 200 some years old and had his healing factor affect his age, which I would argue is a huge part of the character.
Well,
Yes.
that's what collaboration's supposed to be, right? You
Right, but-
bounce off of each other's ideas.
But I'm just saying, when you work the Marvel method, the artist does end up taking on some creator ownership of the story.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, one of the ribs on John Byrne, and I shouldn't say rib, it was meant to piss him off. He wanted to do a story with Captain America and Wolverine. He had that idea when he was working on X-Men with Claremont, and they said no, and then they did it when things went really bad with him and with them and Byrne. So they did that story later on. That's a spite story.
Yeah.
And a great story.
And a great story.
Usually are, right?
Lady F says Claremont and Byrne were a great duo for X-Men. They just hated each other. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah. But Claremont had good teams, man. He had Paul Smith too.
You gotta read the whole
We don't
comment.
give Paul Smith as much credit as he should get. Paul Smith was great.
Yeah, I would argue that, like with Stan and Jack, they were never better than when they were together. With Claremont and Byrne, they both went on to have just they didn't
They were
lose
fine.
anything for not working together.
Well, yeah, you got Byrne, who ended up moving with She-Hulk and doing a lot of other things. I think they were fine. They ended up
With Lennon and McCarthy, you kind of have the same thing. They both went on to have successful careers without each other.
Mhm.
I would argue McCarthy probably did better than Lennon.
Well,
As of today, yeah.
Lennon had some adversity to work through.
Wait, are
Like
we
being-
talking about the same people?
Being
Well, one of
Paul
them is
McCarthy,
dead.
Sir Paul, and John Lennon.
Oh god, there's a lot of Lennons and McCarthy we can bring up.
Yeah,
But I wouldn't-
you were
I wouldn't
talking
think about
communism.
those.
You were
I would-
talking communism, and I was talking the Beatles, which
Yeah.
some would argue is the exact same thing.
And they all have Yoko Ono in the way.
Yep. Everybody remembers when Yoko went to Stalin.
Oh, when she lifted them up as a band, she really made the Beatles.
Is this happening?
McCartney, yeah, I called him.
Is this
Yeah.
actually happening right now? Let's see. It is happening.
It is.
What's that?
Oh my gosh.
It just
Hello.
happened. It feels,
I wish you wouldn't have added somebody because I was about to peace out because I have to get on a call here.
now it
Lee,
feels like
this
home.
isn't personal.
I'm going to take it personally.
It's the
Oh,
only way you
all
should
right.
take it.
Yeah.
It legitimately
At
feels
least,
like
at least
home
you know it's
again now.
takeable.
Lee,
How you
welcome,
going?
welcome back.
It's been a hot minute. I told you I'd come, and I'm coming all over the place.
That you are.
Yeah. How you going?
It's going good. How are you going?
Yeah, right. I'm having a Woodstock
Bourbon. It just froze right there.
Bourbon.
A little something to wind you down for the end of
Yeah.
the day before you go to bed.
Yeah, it's going. Yeah, it's a nice. It's not a bad drop. It's a Kentucky, USA, apparently. I don't know what that means.
Reminds me of the Kingsman movie.
That's where
Was it the
bourbon should
second
be
one?
from.
It's where bourbon what?
Should be from.
Mm.
Did y'all see the second Kingsman movie?
Yeah, I
Yes.
saw it.
The Stateman's base of operation was a Kentucky bourbon factory.
Distillery.
Yeah, that too.
And I haven't seen the second Kingsman.
The
Seen
third
the
one.
first one.
Yeah.
Is there 3 of them now?
Yeah,
The third one
is
was a prequel.
Yeah, there's really 2.
Ooh.
Yeah. Did I see the third one? I don't even remember if
I
I saw the
didn't see the
third one.
third one.
This was with Ralph Fiennes. It's not bad at all, but it's definitely the third one.
Yeah.
There you go. What are we talking about? What did I walk in on?
We were talking about Lennon and McCarthy. And which Lennon McCarthy duo do you think of? The comic book team, the Beatles,
Yes.
or the other ones?
Hey, Remy.
What's going on, Lee? How you doing, buddy?
McCarthyism. Yeah.
Oh, Rim's here. Sit up.
Okay.
Lee may not be as familiar with McCarthyism
No.
since that was a
Yeah.
U.S.
It came with your beer.
pretty
came
specific
with your-
U.S. thing.
I think they teach U.S. history in Australia.
This is bourbon, not beer. But they do teach some US history, but not all of it.
I can't
Yeah,
even
well,
imagine.
My
what
experience
our
with
version
U.S.
of
history is that we don't get the McCarthyism either in the U.S. because the U.S. history stops at World War II in school because we never get enough time to go anywhere beyond that. It seems.
I shouldn't ask so many questions.
But essentially, McCarthyism. McCarthy was a U.S. senator that led basically modern day witch hunts into every facet of entertainment and anything else in the world, looking for communists that were out there trying to undermine the American system.
And he found some.
And he ruined
And
a
he
lot of
found some
people's
people
lives.
that were not.
Much like the witch trials. Mostly just ruined people's lives.
Happens every so often. It would appear.
You gotta
doesn't it?
break a few eggs to make a cake, Rob.
But they were checking if they floated out, they were witches.
No,
so
they
they
were
had to
communists.
test.
If they floated, they were
That
coming.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Well,
and if
either
they sank,
way,
they
right?
weren't.
No.
So no matter how we win either way, right? That's how that works. Oh, I guess they weren't witches. Never mind.
Yeah.
They're just pesky women that had an opinion.
They
How
just
dare
needed,
they?
they just needed to find a way to become single again. That's all.
Fair enough. Does that happen every couple of decades over there or something? You know, light women on fire? Or-
Every so often we have some fanatical.
Women start to get uppity, and so the Congress feels it's their place to put them in their place by taking away their rights and
Go lay down.
bashing them into nothingness and reminding them that you only think that you're equal in this society.
See,
How
what happens
hilarious!
is
I don't know where
There's
I'm going with this.
one woman, and then when multiple get together, they turn into women. And when you have a group, you have to control the group, and so that's what happens.
It becomes a herd.
Yeah, you have to form a herd, or else they get out of control. It's just like down here.
Next thing you know, they want equal pay and equal rights, and they want to be treated fairly. And you can't have that in a civilized world.
This is democracy, man. Oh man.
In case before I get the letter writing campaign, sarcasm. Look it up.
But I mean, that's why. So every company only hires women because they can pay them less money.
Makes
Money
sense.
saving.
Well,
tactic.
that's the real reason why throughout a lot of states right now are trying to lower the working age, and remove working permits and everything else for young kids, because we got to go back to the days where we had young cheap labor with little hands that can go in the mines and work inside the factory machines and get in there,
And get their hands in little spots.
or
What's
clean
the
out the
minimum
carcass.
working
Actually, to
age right
clean
now?
out the carcasses of the animals, they can
What's
get in
the
there better and
minimum
scoop them
working-
out.
What's the minimum working age, Rob?
In California,
Easy.
you
That's
well,
not accurate representation.
8.
states.
It's a whole different nation over there. Go ahead.
Without looking, do people know what the minimum working age is?
I thought
it varies from
14
state
or
to state.
16.
In New York, it's
So-
16.
Yeah, so in California, you can get a job at 15, but it's highly restricted how many hours you can work and what time of day.
Mm.
And then 16 through 18, it's still restricted and how much you can do, but it's even more so. I mean, technically, you can get younger into entertainment, but for normal people outside of the entertainment industry, working like at McDonald's or whatever other gig you want to get, it's 15. But I think on 15-year-olds on a school night, you can't work past 9 p.m.
And you can work. You can,
and you can
work
only
even
work
younger
like
than
up
that.
to
Yeah.
16
can
hours a
already-
week. But and then once you're 16, you can work 30 hours a week, but you can't
Yeah.
work past 10 p.m. or something. Or
Yeah, you can work even younger than that now with a work permit, but the work permit has to be approved by the place of employment, your parents, and your education system. And
right, yeah, it's the same thing
just like
here.
we're
But
talking about, you're not going to be working during school hours, and it's minimal time. But just looking at there's nothing wrong in my mind with teenagers working whatsoever. I do think that the school restrictions to make sure they're still doing that is important. But depending on the job, especially, like it makes no sense for teenagers not to be starting, because most people are getting out of school and not having a work ethic or a trade these days. That's one of the big problems. Is like
that's not the
having a
problem. The
trade.
problem is putting 13 and 14-year-olds working on cleaning out carcasses in a slaughterhouse to working till midnight.
You mean we can't do that kind of stuff?
I mean, think about it though. Like how many
But they were
chicken?
witches.
are there? That is
They
so,
could have
that
been
is
witches.
so subject
Rob.
to like
Somebody's got to
the
clean them
area around a slaughterhouse. How many kids living around slaughterhouses are looking for a job? Like that's
Top dollar right there. You know what I mean? Yeah.
We
They're
have
not
a
getting-
we
they're
have
not
a
getting paid
slaughterhouse
top
here
dollar.
in Augusta, and they're never wanting for labor, but they just have.
I'm pretty.
I've got friends that work at the slaughterhouse.
There
and
you
they
go.
talk about just standing in
You
the-
can work on the farm when
blood
you can
pool.
pick. Yeah, well, that's
My daughter's a certain age. She does my recording. That's good child labor right there. You didn't get that edit right. You didn't do that. That's good child labor. I give her a little something. I give her French fries.
working the family farm and stuff is a completely different scenario than
It's work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, some of them make a lot of money on TikTok too. Chicken and booty.
True. That's a good point. If they're filing taxes,
why are you
for
watching
TikTok,
all
do
those
they-
young teenagers on TikTok there?
I'm not watching all those young teenagers. I have
don't know. You
It
seem to
grows
know
the
about 'em.
economy, as
That's what I'm
Biden
saying, I'm
says. It
hearing.
grows the economy.
Didn't you know you're supposed to ask the girl first before you?
No.
Izzy's scrolling through TikTok trying to grow the economy.
Yeah.
And
China's economy.
Hey,
is-
girls got to work. You know what I'm saying? I'm
It's
just
either-
helping the system. You know what I mean?
Creeper.
Either girls that are dancing on TikTok or washing cars on YouTube. It's one of the two, and I prefer washing cars on YouTube.
What did it yesterday? You had Matt was in his little creeper on that little anime girl that you guys were.
Bulma.
Yeah, the big girl. Where is she?
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
So how old is she supposed to be?
16.
16.
That's fully developed. I can
You know,
tell you
the
that
artist,
much.
the artist should be talked to about that.
Yeah. And it's like in the first chapter or two that she announces her age pretty clearly. I don't know how you could miss it.
He did.
He wasn't
did miss
listening
it
to her.
somehow.
I'll tell you that much.
I mean, it's she was
Maybe it's
essentially like sexually assaulted in the second chapter.
Maybe it's like Ariel, and it's
As
in
a
mermaid
joke.
years. So 16 isn't the same thing as human 16 years.
Okay,
Maybe that's
that
what
makes
That's
sense.
how that goes.
It's a different kind of 16. Like she's 16 in leap years or something.
Yeah.
it's mermaid years.
16 last I checked.
Yeah, 16 and dog years.
Oh yeah, that changes everything. That means she's old.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my
Oh.
goodness.
She could be dead.
I saw the oldest dog. There's like a record oldest dog. He was like 30 or 31.
Wow.
Yeesh. It was blind, deaf, and pooping itself, and couldn't move. And
He's a real good sleeper.
Were there little kids that were scraping them off of the
he'd been
road?
sleeping for the last 10 years. But damn, I tell you,
Get up.
oh yeah, he's
Go grab
30,
that
he's
31-year-old
30 years old.
dog,
He's been
son.
sleeping
I'll
over
give
there
you
on the couch for
$5.
15 years. But he's ladies and gentlemen, esteemed letterer and
JB.
Spider-Man connoisseur, but he's already and collector of all X-Men he wants, Mr. Justin Birch.
I'm not. No one's excited.
Apparently he can't say anything though.
No one's excited.
But a man who can speak.
Yo.
The power of positivity.
What's up? We just speaking on the job thing in Ohio. We have work program in Ohio. So like during school, you go for like 1 or 2 periods, and then you go to your job all day, and that's what I did for my like whole senior year. Because you already have your credits by your senior year, so you don't need to take like 6 or 7 classes.
Wow. Yeah, internship programs pretty much.
Basically, except it was crap jobs like McDonald's and Taco Bell and stuff like that.
Rob,
In
did you
future,
take-
Preparing for the
Talk
future right there. That's career opportunities right there.
I mean,
Dustin, what
if you
think?
were working for the future, Izzy, you'd have to work at Taco Bell and only Taco Bell because all restaurants will be Taco Bell.
Taco
Yes.
Bell has the best healthcare out of any job in America. By the way, out of doctors, dentists, any field, Taco Bell has.
Is it
like-
really?
Yes, it is like one of their. Yeah, I promise. Look it up. It is hands.
I
it
gotta
is
get
fu-
me a job at Taco Bell, man. I gotta.
If you work a certain amount of hours, it's full benefits across the board, no co-pays at all. It's like the Cadillac.
Why?
It's just something their
They know if you
program.
eat
Their
the food, you need to go to the hospital when you're done.
they do they do a thing where like they if you're an employee, you can sign up to get like free college tuition and everything, and it's all like company paid. So it's one of their big things they do to try and get people to work there.
Shout out to Taco Bell, hey?
Lee
the
doesn't
health-
have to worry about healthcare in Australia.
Hashtag free healthcare.
Yeah.
It must be nice.
Yeah, I heard that's a thing in other
Yeah.
places.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
I know that my Romanian team, they all get, they have national has healthcare stuff, but you know what? Almost none of them want to use it. They all still go to the private healthcare and pay out of pocket because they don't they'd much rather have a Not saying that our system is good because it's not.
Terrible.
But there's got to be, and I'm not saying that Australia's is bad. I'm just saying Romania's is bad.
Shout out to
The
Canada.
Australians is pretty good.
Canada Healthcare. Shout out to them.
Yeah, I remember the week where they, the 1 year that Canada shut down the healthcare system for 2 weeks at the end of the year because they didn't have any money and it was only emergency care only.
People
That was
are
a thing that
freaking
happened
out.
once.
I didn't know that.
It was probably when you were just a baby still, Tyler. I think your mom and I were, still.
we
still
weren't
early.
thinking about you.
No, he was crawling about. He was so.
I was still just a twinkle in Rob's eye.
No, you were shitting yourself.
Oh, daddy.
Nice show with Matt last night, guys.
Thanks.
Nice.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Nice crocodile, my dude.
That was a great crocodile.
I want
You got to put that up on your
Yeah, I want to get a picture of it like long ways next to Zuzu or something because it's huge.
I reckon you should take down the
Zuzu
stuff on your top
mouth.
shelf and just wrap around your top shelf there behind you.
It wouldn't even fit. It would go
Really?
on. Yeah, it's like 8 feet long,
Wow.
Put that in meters so that way Lee knows what you're talking about.
16 meters.
Oh, that
I don't
makes
know what feet is because people we measure
I-
height by feet for some reason.
It's always
So it's 2
double it.
meters wide and 6 feet high.
Yeah.
Like the height of a person. Like I'm
Oh,
5'8".
Got it.
That's how high I am. I'm not 6'8". I'm 5'.
That's weird.
You know how
right?
high I am?
Oh.
California living, baby.
That's what it took me a little longer to get on the stream. I had to wake up and get my Wheaties in.
That's right.
You fucking stoner.
No.
No, bro, my stomach is so messed up in the morning. I have to do it medicinally,
Just
or
go
I
do a
can't
shit.
function.
Just go poo.
I mean that's after the coffee, but
8 o'clock pool.
Yeah.
You want to make sure you get a good movement. Coffee and Chinese food for breakfast.
Ooh, you're donezo, bro.
Finish, chase it down with a Taco Bell. Watch out.
That's rough.
So, Justin, you know what Mark needs? He needs an update.
For that, Rob, have you already taunted Justin?
Oh, he's seen it, and he actually saw it. But he and I were talking, and I think he got a picture of it before the video dropped.
I think it's cool because y'all are like working in reverse methods. Justin's trying to sell a lot of stuff to buy one, and you bought one. Now you have to sell a lot of stuff.
Well, I don't have to sell a lot of stuff. I have to sell a couple things.
Fire, by the way.
Half the
Rob.
collection has to go, everybody. So start throwing bids out on the wall.
Again,
Think so.
it's like I'm gonna get my bonus in a couple weeks.
They're all second prints. Just
Rob-
basically
remember
just
that.
spent my
Rob's being
bonus.
modest.
He's gonna get his bonus. That's why he gets the other ASM book.
Serious inquiries only. This guy's got bills to pay.
Rob,
But-
I have a shipment of Pokemon cards coming in, and we can talk trades when you're ready.
Right.
Yeah, I got a stack of Dragon Ball Z cards. We can talk second double trades after that.
For Jay, I think Justin reached out to me like right after the con. Actually, he's like, "Oh, so did you get any books while you were at the con?" Because there's been like, it's this whole thing of like, I'll buy a book, and then like he feels obligated to go get a book, and so I wasn't looking for number one, and I wasn't thinking about it. And of course, he's been looking and wanting number one. Everything else has been distracting him from it. So, yeah, dropping that down on him was.
What was the grade on that other one, the 18,000 one?
You know what? I honestly don't remember. I wanted to say it was like around a 5,
Mm-hmm.
but I might be wrong. It might have been higher because I just saw $18,000
And your
and
brain
just shoved.
shoved it off.
Yeah.
Shoved it right. It's just like I was telling the story earlier about the AF-15. The guy was trying to sell me at the same time, and I kept telling him that AF-15 is not Spider-Man 1 through 100, so I don't
Mhm.
care.
Rob, can you look up the AF-15 on Go Collect just out of curiosity when you get a chance?
Sure. But so it was like, I'm like, I don't even care. The price could have been on the front of it. Might not have been. I don't know.
Mhm.
I just blocked it out because it didn't matter to me. Actually, no, I can on my phone, I guess, because I can't do it on this computer. I'm not.
I didn't care where you did it. I just wanted you to do
Yeah,
it.
well, I hate doing stuff on my phone. Okay.
So that'd be great.
Justin, what's up with the Ringo Awards? Are they closed last night?
I have no idea. I should probably look into that, huh?
I don't think they are. They were supposed to, but they're still there. The nomination.
Did everybody vote for Justin Birch in the Ringo Awards? It takes 2 seconds. I shared it
Yes.
out in the
Yes, I
Legion
did.
chats. Make it easy to click the link.
I did as well. I had no idea what it was until you shared it
Yeah,
out.
I
Yeah, the
hope
Ringo-
I hope they
Mhm.
accept it. I just put JB, so hopefully that was
They'll
enough.
accept it.
They'll figure it out. They'll figure,
They'll know.
They'll know.
they'll figure it out.
Yeah. That's that. The Ringo Awards happens in Baltimore. I think they're happening in September this year.
We're fighting to win Justin a seafood dinner.
It's a good dinner.
I've seen the dinner. I was there last year.
All right, Tyler.
Not bad. But you know what's even better? The after party.
No, I usually I have my own after party. I have this secret balcony that I just go to and drink beer by myself.
Those are always the best parties, bro.
Yeah, store bought beer too. So
Yes.
I walk down to the liquor store and buy
Yeah,
my own
it's
12 pack
closed
and
now.
I walk back to the balcony.
So Tyler,
It's definitely closed
this
now.
month, both a 0.5 and a 1.0 have sold. Both of them for $11,000.
Gee.
So
it's a big ass book.
Five
So
five
that's
digits
where it
for
starts.
a AF-15. So minimum. So yeah, that's just not even.
So that one he was showing you was going to be around there. Around
It was
10,000
probably
minimum.
at least 10 to 12,000 probably. I don't even
Even if it was a deal, it would have been like
I don't even know
9
what
something.
I don't even know what the grade was on it, other than he kept saying low grade, and I don't.
I thought you
the
said
price was, 'cause
0.5. I thought you said 0.5.
I think it probably was, but again, I blocked it out of my mind because it wasn't even going to be processed as a possibility or something I won't care about. So,
Wait, I can get a very low grade AF-15 for 10 grand.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, roughly. That's the first appearance of Spider-Man.
Is it?
Also, the last appearance of Uncle Ben.
Hey.
Is it? No.
That's not true.
It's not the last appearance of Uncle Ben.
Definitely not.
In the timeline,
Alive.
Alive, yeah.
Actually,
Poor
no.
Uncle Ben.
There's a Spider-Man Zero. What? Remember when they did the -1 books?
I don't count those.
They count. Well, no one counts them. They're backwards. They're minus books.
I don't count them. I don't have X-Men -1.
I got a few of them.
I've never heard of these, to be honest.
You never heard of the -1 books?
No.
It was their take on doing a Zero book.
Lady F, you're right. That's a dick.
That sounds terrible.
Well, speaking of awards, we got an award show opening up tomorrow.
That's what I was waiting for.
There you are.
Yeah.
Look at that. Oh, yeah. You like that, huh, Justin?
Oh, sorry, I'm not paying attention. I do like that. I'm legitimately very happy for it. Unless you want me to be mad, I'll be mad at you.
No, you don't need to be mad.
Tell me
By the
what
way-
I'm supposed to feel, Rob. Tell me what I'm supposed to feel.
A hint of
I got a new
just,
book for me too.
just a hint of jealousy mixed with envy and
It's funny.
Okay, we got that ready.
an increasing desire to get your own copy right away.
Here, I got one. Hang on. We're gonna be pulling out big books like that, Rob. Look at that clean copy.
Look at that, $3.99.
It's so clean they charge you a lot more for it.
Facts, bro.
That's the difference. A high grade copy.
It's
a
the
high grade
clean.
copy will fetch a bit more money than the cheap ass one I have, which is only 9 pence.
It's the exclusive cleaned and pressed copy. It already comes cleaned and pressed. That's what that $3.99.
That's like the
price tag.
platinum edition of its time, right? It's a virgin variant.
But yeah, make sure everybody go vote for Freaky Louie for the CBC Awards.
I'm not a fan. I'm not sold on Louie.
No.
I'm gonna
Just
I'd rather-
for the funniest.
I've
comedian.
never heard of him.
Nope.
Yeah.
I'm just
I'd rather-
as a person for me.
Oh, as a person,
I'd much rather vote for Whack Comics for everything.
is it the charitable work he does and the community work as Spider-Man's that turn you off?
Yeah, that does definitely.
Mm.
You can tell he does it for himself and not for other people. I just see it in him.
I was watching The Boys before I jumped on here. I've started watching The Boys again from season 1, and I forgot how really good that first season was. Like, especially that first episode. It's like the best first episode of anything.
Yep.
So I'm gonna
all the time. Best pilot of any show of all time.
So I'm gonna go and continue watching The Boys. But I just wanted to jump on and say hello to everyone. And say hello to Mark, especially. Love you, Mark.
What about me?
Mark says he loves you too.
Yeah, Mark doesn't care. Love you, Mark.
I love you, Lee. You have an amazing day.
I love you. I'm sitting
The
here.
Boys is a banger, by the way.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take it easy, Lee.
Why isn't this working?
I'm going to experiment with something.
26 awards. That's a lot of awards.
All right, let's clean there. Interesting.
What?
Now, I guess it was Lee. I didn't think it was, but yeah, I was hearing
Oh, me too.
all of us talking. Well, kind of like speakers were being picked up by the microphone, but he had a headset on, so I thought that why wouldn't it be him? But
I just
he's
unplugged
gone
my
now,
mic
and the
and
issue's
plugged it back
gone.
in,
So,
thinking it was me.
I was going around muting everybody who didn't have a headset on, experimenting. That didn't solve the problem.
Did you mute me?
I did at one point. You were the last one I turned to.
I was muted.
I know you were, but that's why. But I still was like, I don't know what else to try. But now we know, and you know what they say about that.
The more you know.
It's half the battle.
Battle.
Come on.
Different generation.
What's the matter, Durs? Did you not grow up in the 80s? Oh, wait.
I guess not, unfortunately. It wasn't even a thought.
But the
wasn't
more
even
you know was the 80s too, wasn't it?
What's that?
The more you know was also the 80s.
Yeah, I
It
think
was
so.
also but they kept it going afterwards.
Yeah, and it's become a meme unto itself.
Yeah.
That was just what popped into my brain first.
Fair enough.
It's early. I haven't had my coffee, and I have to go mow after I get off of the stream.
Early.
So
It's early here. There, it's late in the morning. It's almost noon where you're
yeah,
at.
dude. But you're up. I was up till almost 5 a.m. Editing and filming. So I fell asleep, woke up at 1, and I was like, oh, I need to record like 3 videos.
Right. I went. You're right. I went to bed about 3 a.m. your time.
Okay. But I'm off work.
I spend a long time editing. I go to bed at 1 if I'm editing. You guys, that's dedication right there.
Editing. What's that?
What's that? Yeah.
No need to edit, right? Just put it out, right?
I shouldn't say that. Obviously, I edited my last video.
YouTube has some slapper-free music, by the way.
Yeah. I'm fine with the free music. It seems to be works fine. I got a couple tracks that I like, and
it is good.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I try to do that just so I won't get hit with that copyright crap that you always have to do. Even though I have a copyright license, but I have to do a copyright license for the exact same song I've done in every single video. So that's annoying to me. The fact that I have to keep doing that, and I can't do it right on the spot. Yeah.
Good morning, C Bizzle.
You guys seen this? Look at this thing.
I've seen worse.
Open it.
Well, I was planning to do an unboxing for it, but it's coming from a major company, a big company.
Unbox it right here. You can screen grab it.
You want to see it? Okay,
Yeah.
let's unbox it.
How major? What company?
A big one. When you see me open it, you'll see what
Things from another world.
Don't be scared. My package from Hoot, the comic I got from Hoot, came bent like that, and the comic was mint, not fine at all. Shout out to the paper quality in that company.
I have a feeling I know which comic this
didn't
is.
come shipped in one of those. That's some from another world bullshit right there.
Look, it came in. Look, this is exactly how it came. So.
Oh, yeah, mine didn't come in that. Mine was in like a Gemini mailer, but the mailer was bent a little bit.
Oh, perfect. Yes. You got lucky, man.
You know who sent? But look at this.
Who sent that?
You ready?
Garbage.
It was Disney.
Makes sense. They're not a
Your-
comic
your,
book company.
your favorite company, man.
Yeah,
Disney.
there was no chance that was going to get shipped well.
That's like those Eminem books. They weren't those Eminem
I was
Friday
ex-
books. They
I
weren't sent
wasn't
from a
ex-
comic company, so you really can't expect much from stuff like
But
that.
you know
or
what's
the,
interesting? I wasn't
Jack in the
expecting this
Box
book. I was expecting one of the Disney covers.
That's not even the book you ordered.
No, I never ordered it. So I have
I think
have
that was the Avengers one or the Infinity Gauntlet. No,
No,
that was the
it's-
Avengers one.
what 15? No,
Mhm.
this 15. I don't think was anything.
I thought. Oh, well, you said you ordered the Disney one. Sorry.
No, this is
What's up, T-Pasty?
this is
Good morning, Pokey.
actually it's not the comic in itself. It's actually not in bad shape.
No, I
Couple
love
of dents in the back, but it's not too bad.
That. I think they make CGC slabs shaped like half pipes that you can get that encapsulated in.
That'd be
Yeah.
sick. Run a tech deck through it.
Yeah.
They still make tech deck stuff.
Yeah,
man. They're
dude.
still rocking and rolling.
Mhm.
So this is the Disney Movies Awards program.
That one's rough too.
So every time you get points,
M book.
so every time you get points, so there's a lot of stuff I get from them, but all free and things like that. So I don't pay a dime for it, and I don't even pay for shipping.
They should be paying you to take it.
Yeah. So no, some of the stuff they've given to me is amazing. So so I'm happy about it. You guys didn't see the other thing I got. I know these guys saw it.
They were like, "Here, can you throw this away for me?" And sent you a bent comic book.
Yeah, I know. Gosh. I also got this from.
Oh,
Look at this.
dope.
Look at this thing. This is gonna be a giveaway. I'm giving this sucker away. There's no space in the house for this.
Everybody put hashtag Baby Yoda in the chat.
There you go.
Hashtag Funko Pop.
Where is it? The child. This is
All my Funkos are upstairs.
this is before he was named.
I have a couple 10 inches. That's what she said. I take them out of the box.
Yeah.
Why does she have 10 inches?
She has a couple of them, and they're
I
hanging
bet
out
she
with
does.
Mhm.
Very interesting ladies you're running with, Durs.
They like to party, bro.
Hey, they got a mouth to feed. I don't judge.
Exactly.
All right, guys, it's my time to go to work.
All right, Izzy. Appreciate you hopping on, brother.
I'll see you guys. I don't know, man. Everything I'm going to be doing lately is pre-recorded, so
Oh,
I'm going
sorry.
away.
I have that exact. Is that the Ferris Bueller shirt? Shout out to Mike. I have that and it cut off. I cut the sleeves
yeah?
off it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is a Cole exclusive.
Shout out.
Shout out to Cole's. That's where I got this.
What comic?
Cold
there.
Comics claim.
No, Cole's, like the department store. Cole's.
Same.
Comic burrito.
Same.
Yeah.
That's where I got
Burrito
mine too.
Cooler.
And I cut the sleeves off like a year or two ago.
Yeah, it was part of the 2 for $10 deal. You know what I'm saying?
Can't go wrong with that, bro.
So, love me, Ferris. That's one of my favorite movies.
Oh, and it's C Bizzle that said that. I'm
Yeah.
still so tired, bro.
There you go. Well, there you go, C Bizzle. It is a Save Ferris shirt. But guys, I'll see you. I don't know when I'll see you guys live, but there'll be plenty of videos.
You said you're going to Hawaii,
I'm going to Florida.
Florida.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the East Coast Hawaii.
Go see Comics by the Bay and Roscoe and stuff.
I did mention it to them, but I don't have enough time to go see them. If they come see me, that's a different story. But I don't have a lot of time. It's an anniversary. I think we gotta me and the missus have to spend some time together.
No, Comics by the Bay is pretty romantic. Might be worth your time.
I seen him without his shirt on.
Yeah, I think we all have.
Yeah.
All right, guys, take it easy.
Have a
See
great
you guys
day, bro.
soon.
Take
Later.
it easy, bud.
Peace.
All right, I had to work almost done here, so I'm quiet for a moment.
It's okay. We forgive you.
You'll like this, Mark. I had to get I switched.
Superman Unchained.
Yeah, I switched. Had to get my tie replaced yesterday, and I read that while I was waiting. Banger book.
I don't know why you're telling Mark. He doesn't like Superman.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to get him into the character more and more lately. So,
Well, that's fair.
hmm
Mark should expand his knowledge of more than just Marvel characters. He probably should branch out some into DC.
Mm-hmm. He's got way too much Hulk, I've heard. So,
well, he's really into the Starship Hulk. That's been his favorite.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That was
Yeah,
my
I'm
favorite too.
Everybody's
glad to see
favorite.
that go. Like if y'all are channel members, I posted that video last night where you get to see my excitement on saying goodbye to this Donny Cates era bullshit.
Donny Cates, is my boy through and through, but that entire Hulk run is in my giveaway bin.
You need better heroes.
Nah, dude, Donny Cates kills it.
I don't know what it is, but
I'm the new blood, bro. Donny Cates is murdering the best book on the planet, Vanish. So
yeah, well, I hate it for you because God only knows how many issues of that were pre-written before it just ends abruptly.
Yeah, I doubt it. It's already going to be starting the second arc.
We'll see.
He's also got Ryan Stegman carrying the book on with the artwork, though, too.
Ryan Stegman's probably writing the book. Just
I don't care, bro.
I don't think I'll get it. Donnie's not working currently. Tell you who is working. That's Megan Hutchinson, double time on Instagram, doing witchcraft. I love watching it. You want me to open it?
My Instagram game is not strong enough to know about everybody.
Here, take these. Hey, I want the Teddy Grahams. I don't want you. All right, thank you. I'm a little helper right there. Yo, do y'all follow Megan Hutchinson on Instagram? Me and Becker have a blast following her. Donnie's ex-wife.
Mm.
Yesterday, I think it was yesterday or the day before, she posted some.
I'm looking her up.
Some very Megan-ish stuff. It almost like she was priming for the public announcement of what's going on with Donnie. Donnie's been like off the map for a while now. No one really talks about it. Okay. Oh, perfect. You want me to open your cookies?
Don't forget to say thank you.
Thank you. You want me to open those for you?
There's a lot of Megan Hutchinsons on Instagram.
You want me to send you the link to her?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's been doing the tarot card stuff. She's fantastically fun to watch on Instagram. Like she'll go live and she just has those eyes where you're like, I don't want to run into her in a back alley. Because she might want your spleen to put with like a chicken bone or something. Yeah, wow. Sounds like we need to go to Ryan's house and make him go to your LCS. Justin, did you update us already on the toys? I might have missed it.
No, 324, but I've had some stuff fall off.
Can you tell us about this angry commenter?
I can. So I think this person is upset that I did not sell him a figure for $47. I instead chose to sell it for $44. And when he wrote that message wanting to know why, I felt like I gave a very good, reasonable explanation. And his response was just like, whatever, your store sucks anyway. And so...
Because you sold it to him for cheaper?
Because I sold it to someone else for $3.
Oh.
Yeah. But my reasoning was that person has bought figures from me before, and they were buying additional figures besides that one in question. So I'm going to help out the people who have bought from me before. It just makes sense to me. And that this person did not like that response. So, but after I sold it, I realized, oh man, I really hope that I'm not $3 short of my Amazing Spider-Man #1 goal at Heroes Con.
God, I hope you are, just because it'd be hilarious.
Were you? Do you think you will be?
I'll let you borrow.
If you ask me for $3,
Everybody if everybody donates a penny to him, we can make that.
Maybe we can get a couple super chats right
We're
now,
like, do you
and
remember when
Mark
you
and
discriminated
AOK
against that
those to
person who wanted
JB.
to pay you more money?
You use super chat, but we're not giving it to Justin. He's a bad businessman. He needs to learn.
I would have threw that other dude like, here, man. Here's like a 5 or 10% off coupon next time.
Yeah, I wanted to do that.
What if it was $5 more? Would that have been the difference? 5 seems like a nice round number.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if he would have offered,
If it was 49.
if he would have paid full price for the figure instead of trying to lowball me, then we wouldn't even be having this conversation.
What was the
figure
price?
was it?
It was a Marvel Legends Elektra.
What was the full price that you wanted for him?
I put $60 on it.
No, I'm talking $5. All right, $5 more. 49. Did that make a difference?
Maybe, I don't know.
That's what you should have told him. Hey, quit being so cheap. Give me $2 more.
Pay up.
Yeah.
Pay up or go to
When
hell.
he asked you for an explanation, you should have said, "This is your lesson."
Meet me at Heroes Con.
If you want my shit, hit buy it now.
That's what I'm saying.
You should have said, "I don't sell to you people," and just leave it open.
You lowballers.
That way he doesn't know what it's for. You think I'd sell to you?
What's everyone doing this weekend today or whatever? There's an air show, like the Blue Angel. There's like we're going to one of those in the morning. Be here local. I'm looking forward to it. I just hope we don't die because you don't really
Blue
ever.
Angels? I didn't know they still did shows.
No, it's they're called the
Just like that.
They're called the Thunderbirds, and like Pops told me about it. He's like, you got the Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds. It's the same shit, different name on the side of the plane, kind of thing.
Different branch of the military.
That's
the Blue Angels are Navy and the Thunderbirds are Air Force.
Air Force, yeah, that's what it was. So it's the same thing.
They're also different aircraft.
And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be fun. Like I said, I just hope I don't die because like you don't really see people posting like how cool it is. You only see people post when they wreck.
I haven't seen those teams wreck in a long time, but
well, the odds are not working in my favor. Then are they?
Watching some of the other people at the air show flying like old vintage aircraft, doing weird stuff that aircraft wasn't designed to do. Sure, but the military guys they do pretty good.
It is Mother's Day this Sunday, so be sure to call your mamas, your grandmamas.
I had to text my
your
youngest
kids' mamas.
My wife left the house today. She's taken up for the drive up to Oregon to go see my youngest who's at university. So I had to text my youngest and say, hey, since mom's driving all the way up there to see you this weekend and it's Mother's Day, you'd best have a card ready.
Keep in mind, just because she's not your mom, your kid's mom, expect something on Mother's Day.
Not mine. Mine's just an organ donor. Egg donor.
What organ?
Yeah, or her eggs.
Which organ? I want to know.
Her eggs.
From Oregon?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this weekend, man, I'm doing Saturday. I'll be on YouTube all damn day because that's what I seem to do on Saturdays. It seems, and I'm gonna go to the store today this afternoon and go pick out some meat to cook for the weekend. Now that my wife's not going to be here, it's just be me and my son. We'll probably get some beef ribs and some other stuff like that.
Welcome, Mike. You got here just in time to hear about Rob's meat.
My favorite time.
Baby mama's organ.
I had some nice chicken meats grilled
my
yesterday.
field, anatomy, right there.
Remy, you got anything to add to the meats conversation?
I don't have any.
He's got some chickens.
You have chickens.
I had some smoked chickens yesterday.
How's that defective chicken? Should we cook it up?
The defective chicken is no longer with us.
Did you choke it?
Buttermilk it?
No.
No longer defective.
I found her, and I was like,
That's what makes the McDonald's chicken nuggets. Those
When you
defective
talk about
chickens.
child labor, it was all right. Bring the chickens to the end of the yard and start digging.
Oh, you didn't
It's a
teach your
life
kids how to
lesson.
pluck it?
No, you can't eat it.
Stop playing with the corpse.
Yeah.
We're plucking it, Dad.
You're plucking it.
Plucked it.
So, Mike,
Rise, chicken, rise.
Mike, what's new with you?
Reading. I mean,
What did you-
dealing with my
what did you-
brother. Shit, what haven't I read?
Let me
think
answer that.
PC.
Let me answer that question.
Aha,
What
no.
hasn't Mike read? I got this one in the bag.
That's
King
a
Kong:
good
The
question.
Great War, issue number 1.
That is right. I passed on that.
All right, let me hit you with another one. Junkyard Joe number 6.
He's so excited he froze.
That's
Damn,
right.
I stumped him with that one.
Grandma break
In
your
your
chicken's
face,
neck one
Mark.
time before plucking it and cooking it. Shit was wild. You know,
Wildcats number 7.
the one that drove me crazy is my next door neighbors when I was younger used to raise rabbits for food, and they would usually make sure nobody was around when it was time to harvest the rabbits. When we were home, all of a sudden you just heard this blood curdling scream, and I had no idea the rabbits.
Oh, they're boiling them?
No, they were hanging them with a noose to snap their neck and stuff, and then they would take the rabbits and cook them. But
All right, fuck this shit, Rob. We're going back to the books Mike hasn't read.
yeah, jeez.
Have you read this?
Hold on. You have an
Mike,
option here.
seasons have teeth.
I think we should take a vote. We can either talk
No, I
about
didn't
killing
read that.
rabbits or how
killed a wabbit, killed a wabbit.
Yeah, we should take a vote now. I mean, all in favor of listening to Rob's story.
Yeah, see,
about killing bunnies.
Car's got it. He's like, oh, they sound like humans. It's really creepy. It
I
really
see
is.
you, Mike.
Rabbit.
Or if you'd like to hear the book
Just wake me up there.
Mike hasn't read.
I like this game.
Look at you in the Simpsons donut.
And Mark,
Mike,
Mark
did
got it
you,
right off
did
the
you
bat,
read
though.
Junkyard Joe number 6?
No, I have it though, but I'm actually like I haven't read past issue 2. I don't know
Well,
why.
really-
I'm just stacking it.
I'm really good at this game.
I thought for the
Yeah, you
longest
are.
time that donuts with pink frosting and sprinkles only came in comic book form. I didn't think that they were real.
You never been to a voodoo donut? They have like voodoo doll donuts and sprinkled donuts.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, we got the Silence of the Rabbits. There you go. Huh.
All right, Mike, let's play a lot faster game. What books have you read?
No, that'll take forever. Name a Marvel book that I didn't read besides Planet of the Apes. Marvel's pretty thick right now. I read that. I love that, man. I hope we get Peter David doing more. That was my first Peter David read.
What?
Yes. On any Hulk book, man. You talk about like not only
Hulk
becoming
book.
a joke.
He's like a staple of the Incredible Hulk.
I heard, and that's I think it was Ranger Sly that made me grab that book because they brought Peter David back, and he was so prolific.
He's been
with
back
it.
on Hulk. Have you haven't read any of
Has he?
the Peter David Hulk books he's been writing for the past 3 years, nonstop?
But it was like, we had Starship.
No, like he's been doing like this is a retro title that Marvel does where it takes place back in the time era that Joe Fixer was there. He did all the Maestro. He did 3 volumes of Maestro back to back to back. Then he went over to Joe Fixer. What else was he doing there? He did the new Fantastic Four one that had Hulk in there on the team. Yeah, he's been doing great with those. And I think
got to his best work ever.
Howard Mackey is doing the one that comes out next week because Joe Fixit ended, but Danny Kett Ghost Rider is starting next week with Howard Mackey. I've got that on the list. I'm very excited about
Ghost Rider's been fire.
Same.
Yeah, Ghost Rider's been fire. Cosmic Ghost Rider's a flaming
decent.
turd.
It's decent for sure. I dig it.
I wanted it, but my shop didn't get any, so I was forced to pass on Cosmic.
First issue was meh. Second and third were slappers.
So because
I slapped him in the throw it away pile. And
Spider-Man
quit pulling it.
I was just gonna say, banger.
Well, not that one, but
I got that.
Yes.
And I got the Blade.
So much better start than last year's series, man. God,
I got that.
fire.
The Jane Gang.
Jane Wing is alive and well.
It is impossible
Mark
for my
has-
shop to
Mark
get
has
in
my
Jane
brother.
covers.
Mark
What?
has my brother looking for Jane Gang now. Like when we go to the comic shop, he's looking for John Jane covers, and I'm like, "How do you know that name?" And he was like, "Legion of Comics." I'm like, "Hell yeah!" He's learning.
John appreciates y'all, I promise.
This is the only Jane cover that matters, though. Vanish.
That cover almost never happened because of the pieces of shit that ran specific online retail shops that
Turn it sideways.
Rob. Yeah, they did a joint exclusive. It was that guy.
It's dark, bro.
The Infinity Order. Hold on, let me make you bigger there, Jersey.
Yeah, it's dark because it's like a mouth within a mouth with it. Hang on, let me.
Well, it's the skeleton inside of his cloak, right?
Yeah, it's my lighting's not the best right now.
Yeah, it's definitely dope.
I never saw that.
Yeah, well, it came out like around time Vanish issue 3 or 4 did. So that book was supposed to come out, obviously, and be a retail exclusive for those 6 shops that were in the Infinity Order collective of shops that would throw in together on exclusives and split them. And the guy who was in charge of it, of that cover specifically, I don't know if he was kind of organizing all of them, was this dishonest turd in the community that has done bad business dealings in the past and changes his name and his shop and all that and comes back after a little bit of time. And he didn't pay John and he didn't pay for the books kind of thing. John did the work. All these people threw in and he ghosted them. And then, like the people in the good sellers, the honest people, like their community kind of came around, got it all worked out over time, got John paid, got the book printed and got it out. Better late than never kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm a big John fanboy because of you, and he recently followed me on Instagram and replied to one of my DMs, so I was hyped about that.
Super interactive with his fan base.
I noticed that right off the rip, bro.
He really, really appreciates people, and it's not just like bullshit. Like he's not he's spending the time to read them and stuff. Rob can tell you, like Rob, I'm sure he recognizes Rob, and it isn't because he's seen him 5 times. He probably really recognized him in a heartbeat after the first time meeting him. He's just
yeah, he seems like an amazing guy.
There's a lot of creators like that genuinely appreciate their fans and audience. I mean, think of Justin Birch, then think of the opposite. One of those creators.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't like talking to people.
People suck.
Certainly
They do.
don't offer them $3 more than somebody else.
Yeah. I mean, you have to at least offer me at least $5 for me to talk.
5.
Right.
Well, I had to deal with that because when I was buying this ASM 1, they were trying to sell it to Justin Birch for $5 less, and I had to.
I got to address this comment real quick because Couchin and Slouchin says that Ghost Rider and Moon Knight is Marvel's best so far. So I guess what he's saying is those are the top 2 books from Marvel coming out right now, and I would argue that Ghost Rider and Punisher is. But unfortunately, Punisher only has 1 more issue, and it's wrapped up. Ghost Rider
agree with Ghost Rider for sure.
Yeah, Punisher has just been redonkulously good. I'm not saying Moon Knight's bad, but I'm saying like Punisher has been phenomenal.
Alien and Predator too have been fire the whole time.
I tried to jump on Predator. Was it Ed Brisson?
Ed Brisson.
Yeah, it was trash. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't up to par with what it should have. I'd expect a lot more. I can just go read
Aliens is where they put. It seems like Aliens is where they put more of their money at. Like,
you know why? Well, it's not more of their money. They had Philip Kennedy Johnson running it for like a year and a half. He's just a top tier writer.
He's still writing.
I thought they switched writers in this most recent volume.
I'll have to double check, but I think he was still doing this art. I know Ed Brisson's got these last issues, and then he's off of Predator, and then they're bringing in somebody else. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was Jed McKay, but I'm not sure.
I wish they were doing kind of like what Dark Horse did, because these are like short arcs, and they're just restarting them at 1 over and over again.
Yeah,
they should be subtitling them. Like it should be Aliens, and here's the name of this story. Predator. Here's the name of this story. It's like it's always been like concrete.
I don't like
that
they're doing the number 1. It's like 4 issues and then another number 1.
I don't like that at all.
I'm fine with that, because that's how Alien and Predator has always been in comic format. Always.
Yeah, like 4 issues.
4 or 6 issues, but it's short stories from all over.
But Marvel's doing that with a lot of their books right now.
But like with that title makes sense, because with any Alien or Predator book, you only can go so far, because everyone's going to die. That's how they always have been. Like everyone dies eventually.
Yeah.
And these things
I
have
think
been around for so long, but you have to at least name them. Because if you go to a comic shop and you're like, let me go grab a little story of Alien or Predator, you don't know which 3 goes with which 4
Yeah, you
goes
can't
with which
even
1, and they're all right
clarify.
by each other. You know, they've all come out within the
Yeah.
past 2 years. They're all just right there.
That's a good con. Like how would you, Tyler, hey, give me the first run of the first 4 Alien, I mean, you wouldn't even know the arc name or
No,
nothing, and the
you
comic
can't
book
even
shop
match
wouldn't know the
yeah, you can't even match it by cover artist because of all the variants. Used to, you could easily just
Yeah.
match it by one way or another.
That's weird.
All right, my dudes,
I
I
think
have to bounce. I have to go mow. You guys have a beautiful day.
Take it
And
easy.
That's fine.
yeah, love you guys.
Durs, I love you too.
Thanks, bro. Have a great day. See you guys later.
Mike, did you read the finale to Stargirl?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was dope.
I liked it.
Dope. Yeah, that was dope. I was
Those were like
smiling the whole way through it.
my top 3 DC right now is like Danger Street, and Stargirl, and JSA.
Yeah, this last issue too.
Yeah,
That was
Danger
like
Street.
every
Yeah.
issue, man, it was good. I like the whole concept of like how big the actual issue this, because like we're very street level with it, like dealing with the Green Team and Manhunter, but none of them have
Lady Cop.
any clue that the sky is falling and the importance of whatever that means. To the gods, they know full well what it means and the importance of it and the danger that there is. But everyone
They
on
freak
Earth,
out.
everyone on Earth, like they're dealing with like their life's biggest crisis right now, the death of a friend, the clearing of a name, the taking over the world with the Green Team, the Manhunter just doing his mission, but they have no idea what the actual gods are doing to keep the universe from destroying itself, and Highfather pulling that move to siphon the power from Apocalypse to hold up the sky temporarily. I'm like, dude.
That was one of my favorite scenes, is when the Highfather went to Dark Side and told him that Atlas died. I was like, what? They hugged each other. I was
they
like,
hugged.
Dark
When they
Side hugged. I was like, bro, if that's not some shit.
Yeah, that really solidified, like, dude, something serious is happening here.
Yeah. It's crazy hearing people that don't like Danger Street, and I'm like, what don't you like about it? The story is so engaging. It keeps you on your toes. It makes you think about all kind of stuff.
None of them have a trident.
How Dr. Fate's helmet
Well, there is that.
Is telling the
But it's
story.
coming. It's coming.
And I like how he's weaving the narrative through like knights and dragons and beasts and monsters, like doing it in the form
Like
of a
fairy
parable.
tale.
Yeah, he's doing it in the form of a parable. It's fantastic.
I love that he's narrating it, though. It makes it that it's also like the weirdest part of the story to explain to somebody else, that the whole story is being narrated by Dr. Fate's helmet.
And keep in mind, it's sitting on a bar somewhere.
Yeah.
We don't have context of why or where it's there. We do know where it is in the story, though. So it's going to be funny. It's not going to be funny, but it's going to be cool, like getting it to finally pan out and see where and why it's sitting where it is.
No, I think I'm pretty sure it's the same for me and you. But have you read anything bad from DC lately?
I don't pull those.
I haven't. I pull a lot of them, like, different than you, but still, even in my wheelhouse, like the whole Bat family, and but now I'm reading the whole Suit family and shit. All that's good too.
Yeah, if I'm with how many books are expanding, I don't keep books on my pull list if I'm not digging them. Like there's some books that like I'm a run collecting. Like if they dip down, I'll continue to pull them, like Action, Superman, Tech, Batman, Flash, GL. Like the primary members, their primary runs. Like I'm not going to miss issues on those. When my dad, he canceled his subscription across the board on his birthday 2 years ago, and like that he's had for his whole life, like running, and we coordinated it when he did, and I put those titles over onto mine so that the run remains unbroken. You know what I mean?
Yeah, in case he wants to go back to read it, or.
Well, his thing is he's on I think he's at 2003 or 4, because he buys so much, and he buys more than just comic books, and he reads so much. way more than comic books. There's no way for him to keep up, and he also, he was worked his whole life,
Yeah.
So he would buy his books and he would date the bag, and he goes and he files the bag, and he has an ocean of totes of like new comic book day pickups that are dated and filed, and he just goes and pulls a bag and reads through them and gets to the next one. He gets to the next one, and he got to the point where he's like, I have enough reading material that I just want to be able to complete it before I die. I don't need to keep buying stuff that I won't for certain be able to pull and read. But he didn't just cut it off. He waited, like, here's the date. All right, this is my cutoff date. So now when a run wraps up, that's where I end it. When we hit an event, that's where I stop at the front of it, or do the event, then close off at the end of it. He made sure if he stops reading his stuff, it's a good drop off point.
It's hard to do that because there's always something coming, I mean, you're talking about one of, like, especially now, we got one event into another event into another, and it's not even like one publisher. I've thought about that before, like, how do you stop, like, having so many pools or whatever, and yes, there is the just stop and, hit the brakes, but at the same time, if you are interested in the stories and stuff, and the way it's coming out nowadays, it's like they're just pumping it out. Like, man, if I kept all my pull list in a catalog bag like that, shit, I mean, they just be stacks of.
I need to run. I got a couple things I got to attend to before my meeting, so I'll talk to you guys.
All right, Robert DeBruce.
Out there.
Bye, Rob.
Rob.
All right, bye.
All right, Rob. Chaos, I just sent you the link in case you want to hop on, man. No, he's ready. I'll tell you what, this is I put it out there in the video. The video comes out tomorrow, but it's available for members now. But I was talking about Batman Brave and the Bold that comes out next week. It's under the Dawn of DC umbrella, but it's just urban legend. That's the name of the anthology book that they've been running for a while. The Batman Urban Legends. And I dropped that. I'm like, dude, I'm not buying an oversized book for undersized stories. You get 8-10 pages worth of a story from a writer artist, and it's not enough to sell it. And like, you can't have like one good writer and 3 mediocre writers, because it makes the mediocre ones look worse when you transition in quality and style like that. And that's what they're doing with Batman Brave and the Bold. It's Urban Legends renamed Brave and the Bold. They give it a number 1, and they slap Tom King's name at the front end of it, hoping to draw with it. And I'm super bummed. I don't want to read any of the stories in it except the ones he's writing, but I don't want to pay the price of admission for that.
Well, I think that is a good idea. I think that's a good idea if they do it like the way manga does it, like where it's a cheat book. You know what I mean? Like for people to intro into it, and it has a whole bunch of stories. They're all Batman stories, and it's like $2 or $3, but, and it's oversized.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it's the opposite. It's overpriced. Yeah. But see, my thing was like when they started Urban Legends, which is basically just the previous volume of what they're doing now, I wanted it because it had a specific Red Hood story that would be running for a few issues, and I wanted to keep up with that character. And I get in there, I'm like, dude, I'm paying way too much money for 8 pages, and on top of that, the Red Hood story wasn't overly selling me on it to begin with. I'm like, this just isn't worth it. But I'm going to be pissed not knowing. I guess I could just like keep up 1 month late on the DCU app I have. I might actually do that.
Yeah, I was buying the early ones because Zdarsky was in it. He had that Night book, which I wasn't buying, but I figured, I get a bunch of stories. I think there's another writer I thought was okay in it, but then that story wasn't that good either, so I just stopped picking it up.
I think I made it I want to say 7 issues into Urban Legends, and I want to say it was okay at first, but it was I think the only appeal to that whole thing, and I read all the stories and everything, but it was they throw a spec character every now and then or something in there. But honestly, you talk about characters that never amounted to nothing. All 3 of the characters that popped up in Urban Legends, I've never seen them again. And you're not even talking about Punchline or Clown Hunter. No, these guys never showed up again. Urban Legends, it wasn't even really good Batman stories. They were just
they're all mediocre.
Yeah, but those first
and for $8,
Legends were they?
No, they first appeared.
Yeah, they had the first issue had a villain.
No, they first appeared in the regular Batman title.
Yeah. And
But they
Punchline sort
started-
of appeared in Hell Arisen.
Yeah. Well, she did in numerous panels in the
cameo.
background.
Yeah.
Which that bummed me out because that wasn't on my pull list, and I was reading that because I was following
Same.
the whole year of the villain stuff through Justice League, and then I move over to Hell Arisen, and then I go to the shop to get issue 3, and it's gone. I'm like, what? Why is this not
Same
here?
happened.
They're like,
Same
oh,
happened to me,
somebody.
but I wasn't reading anything else. That was the only one I was reading. I was like, oh, 4 issues I can like dip in, and I could read it on the DC app, which at the time was 6 months. Yeah, and then issue number 3 was the hottest thing on the market.
Yeah, the whole thing that drew me to it was the Apex Lex story, dude. I thought that was awesome.
I love that.
And what's really cool is Apex Lex completely bested the Batman Who Laughs. Like his plan went off without a hitch, and it came down to just Perpetua being like, "All right, well, I'm just gonna take this guy anyways. I actually like his crazy for what I have planned." You're like, "What?" After all of that,
I never got to read issues 3 and 4. I have 3 now. Louis gave it to me, but I think it's like a second print or something. Because it's same story. I was reading everything Batman Who Laughs, and that was like the one book I couldn't get. It never even showed up at the shop.
At this point, I've got both covers for it. I've got the A and B. I've got the A and B for all of them because those B covers were gorgeous. But I like
How
that.
does Lex lose his powers?
What?
Perpetua takes him back. How did Apex Lex lose his powers?
Yeah,
the next issue it was just he
she
didn't have
takes
his
him
powers.
back, and you remember she takes him back and scars him, and then the next time we see him is in Death Metal when he's like kind of the person who had the hood up and you didn't know, and he had the burnt face.
Mm-hmm. I kind of got that's what happened, but I mean, not only that, but the book never even clarified it. If you're reading forward.
Yeah, you'd have to have seen like this scene when you're in like Perpetua's her home or her throne, and the Batman Who Laughs and Apex Lex are at her feet, and Batman Who Laughs is completely chumped off, and Lex runs his mouth, kind of thing. The whole hubris gets him.
Yeah, I loved all that, man.
But it was good stuff. Chaos, you read Green Lantern?
I read number 1. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's hard to say whether it was going to be like, it wasn't like a. It's hard to say whether the run's going to be good or not. It was good enough to read the next one.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought it was pretty good. I like the. I didn't read any of the Lazarus Planet stuff, so I was coming in basically reading that intro. Right. I do sort of hope it goes cosmic though, because that's why I was buying it. But I'm afraid, even though I think other people will like it, and I'm happy for that. I'm afraid that it's going to be like more down to earth. And I was ready for another
I think it's
weird out there one.
We had Jeremy Adams on a couple of weeks ago, and he completely confirmed that it is definitely starting off down to earth, and it's kind of what the character needs right now, because he almost became like, and you can get this reference, almost became like an X-Men problem with the story being so big and vast and so many characters that naturally built up to that, but it can get intimidating or legitimately difficult to hop in for other people. So they've kind of like toned him down. We don't have a central power battery right now anyways, and a lot of stuff is just in disarray. So they kind of got to simplify it to build it back out. And inevitably, no matter what, we're going back to space. That's the character. But this first story, Earth is quarantined in itself. And as far as Lazarus Planet, there's nothing Green Lantern related to it.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't remember anything.
Wasn't a single ring slinger in it. Hal's been off world. No. What that means is they just haven't been writing a book with him in it. They've had John Stewart front and center, and they're just bringing him. They're just bringing him home. He came home.
I thought the intro said something. I thought the intro said something about Lazarus Planet.
I think they said Dark Crisis. That's when Hal returned.
Dark Crisis. Yeah.
Yeah, we said that was the last time we saw. Because I was trying to think, when's the last time we saw all the Green Lanterns? I know we've seen John.
John Stewart's become this cosmic weapon called the Guardian, where he's like the power source of the other ex-Green Lanterns who have a very similar looking ability and power set that's coming from him and his ability as the Guardian. And Hal still has his ability to use a ring, which doesn't make much sense still. And like Jeremy even pointed out, it's like, yeah, we'll be diving into that and explaining that as well with the primary battery gone, which means obviously there's another one, or there's just another source. All the central battery does is concentrate willpower. It's still out there. They're accessing it via some other
Isn't
outlet.
another lantern currently a battery too? Isn't like don't quote me, but I thought Jessica had turned into a battery too, or something like that. One of the other lanterns.
Wasn't that John Stewart?
Yeah,
Wasn't
that's
that John
John.
Stewart
I know
in the backup?
John Stewart did, but and that was like mainstream. But I'm trying to think.
Yeah, but
No, I'm saying, isn't he the backup story?
Yeah, John Stewart tapped into this ancient cosmic energy weapon kind of thing. Like
He got like it was it wasn't a one shot. What was that series, Mark?
Who's the
It was-
backstory?
You
Was it a
didn't
one-shot?
know?
Who's the backstory? I thought that was John
Yeah,
Stewart.
it's John Stewart. So we had the
Well, that's
teen
how it's getting
lantern.
powered. He's there on Earth.
Yeah, we had this trashy Teen Lantern, Green Lantern run, and then we got a one shot between that and here with the John Stewart thing, kind of wrapping up the villain stuff that they were dealing with in that, and kind of explaining his abilities.
So he's that. If he's the battery, then he's powering the ring.
Well, again, he's not charging their rings. Like he is a weapon. It's not, you know what I'm saying? Like it's green and this and that, but he had to go seek out, without any abilities, this ancient cosmic power source that gives them the ability to construct minor things like just hand weapons and stuff like that. And it's similar powers, not nearly what they have when they have the rings.
Where's the place to go right now for? I guess I could read Justice League Odyssey. I got like the 4 or 5 issues. I could read that on it's older now.
Did you say Odyssey?
Justice League Odyssey. I like that. But I'm saying what I was going to ask is where's the place to go now for Cosmic DC?
For Cosmic DC?
Yeah, I don't think there's not a lot of Marvel right now either. I mean, Guardians.
No, you got Cosmic Ghost Rider. Damn, what is DC doing with space?
Yeah, I don't think there's much of anything right now. You have Superman Lost, which is literally a cosmic adventure, which that third
floating out there.
Have you been reading that, Christopher Priest?
No, but no, I haven't. But I've seen a surprising amount of people buying it. I think it's going to be something everyone's read.
It's really good.
It's really good. Yeah, it's a standalone as well. The premise is cool. The Justice League responds to a disturbance in the ocean, like where different countries are about to go to war over a wrecked ship. Turns out it's a wrecked alien ship with the engine drive in it is like running off black hole energy, so it's about to rip the Earth apart. So they have to try to shut it down. And Superman's physiology is the only one that can actually go into it to try to do it. And shutting it down, it shoots him across space. He's gone. And by the time Clark comes to tell Lois that we've lost Superman, he walks in the door. So it was only like a couple hours he was gone to them, but it was 20 years for him in the book. And he comes back with like severe PTSD. That first issue is like frightening, like seeing how he's acting and stuff. Yeah, it was crazy. Him just standing there,
seeing him frightened like that. And
so we're seeing
expressions in the art.
Yeah, we're seeing the years. So by issue 3, we've already moved. What was it, like 3 years?
Yeah, 3 years. The second issue was just as good because it was starting to set up like what he had seen while he was over there, and what Lois and everybody on Earth was having to deal with this like PTSD Superman. They're trying to figure out if he's a bad guy and shit. The only thing I can say about Priest, and I know you probably didn't read any of that, but what do you call it? He did Vampirella, and he has the same style of setup in every book. He does that.
Yeah,
like
he has the
New
same
York
thing
City
in Black
with
Adam.
That's what
yeah.
I
Oh yeah. He's right in that one too.
I think a lot of people are actually successful at the Dynamite stuff if you read it, and I didn't like any Christopher Priest's Dynamite stuff.
Some of his stuff is weird.
Yeah,
I do like his Black Adam and his.
Good morning, Comic Journey.
But like he's doing
DJ
Year One.
What's up, Nick? Yeah, Jane got an exclusive for Vampirella Year 1, but this hack of a shop called Rated Comics wants $70 for like the trade dress and another $70 for the Virgin, and doesn't sell it as a set. I'm like, dude, these people are crazy. They can sit on those books.
Oh yeah, that's not 40 bucks. Like if you're pre-ordering it, it's $40, and it's the same. It's always the same gorilla cover.
Oh, nice. I approve of that, Remy.
What's up?
I approve of your icon.
What do you mean?
You have the icon as your icon.
I don't know what that means. I'm sorry.
The icon you have with Sting on it.
Oh, I don't know who this is.
Well, you have the Burke wrestler.
I do. Ironically, you mentioned wrestling. I do have the first wrestling.
JD Kane. JD, yeah, I think it's JD Kane. Rated Comics also has a YouTube channel. We'll ask them why they charge 200% over standard market value for their books.
What's up, Marcus?
Top of the morning to you, Perry. How are you doing today?
Only for the Jang books, or that's everything?
They do some. They don't do like exclusives at the frequency that a lot of shops that you would know do, but it looks like that's their standard. What they're like, what they do, like it's just insane prices.
Do they post that they sell out like big time collectibles?
Never. They don't sell out. I go to their website regularly looking for sales. They had these books done right before a con that John was at, and then I was even watching eBay. One set hit eBay, and I think it's still there for an insane price, meaning that nobody bought it to flip it. They're not moving these books. They're just in the whole form. I guess they don't. Some people just don't understand how good business works. You don't try to recoup your money with 3 of the items out of the 150. There's no way they recoup their money on them. Not a chance.
You just put them in a mystery box later.
They won't even do that. Guarantee it. Or either mystery box will be way too expensive. What is going on, Esteban? Good morning, Derek. Hello, Circumstances. How are y'all doing?
Good morning.
I know someone that just bought a mystery box. There were 4 signed Ninja Funks, #1 in it. The Whatnot comic. That person.
That
I
sucks.
don't know where he
That
bought
is
it. He goes,
man.
I got 4
That's-
signed Ninja Funks, all different covers, right? But that Ninja Funk #1 had like
I would have
20
returned
covers.
that box.
Dude, you could retire off of that.
Yeah, yeah.
What's going
If
on?
your retirement plan is to be homeless.
Holy shit! I have a 6 times signed copy of Ninja Funk.
You
Same
signed
guy?
it 6 times.
Yeah, I got it out of a $8,000 mystery box. That was the GP.
It was the only book in it.
Yeah. It came in a CGC slab, in a CBS slab, in a Gator Guard.
With a chastity belt on it.
You're welcome, Esteban. I said I killed the conversation. I'm out.
Pretty
So
mellow
Dead
right
Rabbit.
Evil Mike, what's up, man?
What's up, DJ?
How's your brother doing, if you don't mind me asking?
He's doing good. He's actually at rehab right now.
Awesome, man.
Working out his
You're super quiet, Mike.
Yeah, all of a sudden we kind of lost your voice, Mike.
Hold on, let me come back in.
Nothing.
I heard him. I heard him perfectly.
Supersonic hearing, DJ.
No, it was like super quiet. What's going on, my men's? Remy, Tyler. I feel like we haven't spoken in forever.
I keep forgetting Tyler and Remy are on the panel.
Wow. Illuminati, baby.
Yeah, it wasn't the topic I knew a lot about. I tried to change it to wrestling a few times because somehow I feel like I was better suited for that topic. Next, we'll do baseball.
Please no. I'm actually in the. I'm gonna try to get to a baseball game this summer.
Mets. Well, speaking of baseball, this isn't baseball related, but I was wondering, DJ, how close to the Barclays Center are you?
Speaking of baseball, this isn't baseball related. How close am I to the Barclays Center?
Since it's technically in Brooklyn, right?
Yeah. Car. 15 minutes, maybe.
Oh wow.
It's super close.
That's dope.
Yeah, it's funny because the Barclays Center, I remember when it opened, in the nighttime, it looks phenomenal from the outside. In the daytime, it's like, yo, this is it? It looks terrible. So the whole, I guess, motif of it is like rusted metal on the outside. So it looks terrible. But in the nighttime, it looks super cool. And they have the best chicken tenders and fries in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center.
Because that's the only thing you would get there.
How are their tacos?
I don't need
chicken tenders and fries.
Yo, see, you think I'm joking? Whenever we go there for a concert and stuff like that, we don't eat like prior to going because I'm like legit like excited for the chicken tenders and fries.
I'm going to a hockey game tonight.
Oh, the hockey game?
The Oilers, yeah. Oilers and Knights, Golden Knights are here.
It's 2-2, right?
It's 2-2, yeah.
Yeah.
What's funny about this hockey game, though, is my wife wants to go more than me. I don't want to spend the money on the tickets, but it's Mother's Day. So I guess I got to, like, be happy that on Mother's Day my wife wants to go to a hockey game. So
I mean, it's a pretty big game. That's pretty cool.
Huge. Yeah, it should be good. I mean, for whatever reason, this team has made this city feel like a city. Like, we just all felt like transient people from our own cities. But the Golden Knights have, like, really brought the city together. The Raiders didn't do shit because we all hate the Raiders unless you're a Raiders fan. But the Knights have brought us together.
Golden Knights are new, and right away they had success. So you had something to root for. Like, imagine being in San Francisco with the A's for your entire life, and they're just terrible.
Yeah.
And then you just get the Golden Knights, and they're just like, go to the Stanley Cup.
Well, I hope that happens to the A's when they come here.
That's exactly what's going to happen. Yeah. They're just going to be like, we're going to spend money now. We have money.
Well, Billy Bean's trick worked when when the people that left him went to the Red Sox and had money to play Moneyball. You know, Moneyball works when you have $100 million. It doesn't work when you have $40 million.
Moneyball. I mean, essentially, you could say the same thing with the Cubs. That's what happened.
Cubs too. Yeah.
Just the same idea.
So
or how about the Royals did the same thing, but just had less money.
Yeah, but the Royals are a little bit more of a surprise. Are you talking about like from like 5 or 10 years ago? Yeah, so it's almost 10 years.
Specifically 2015 and 2014 as well. They were really good.
Yeah, so.
Are you talking about the 2011 blockbuster with Brad Pitt, Moneyball?
I hated that movie.
Or the book.
You really?
I hated
or the book.
Movie.
No way, man. That movie is gold.
That
is amazing.
Chris, the book was actually based on the movie. It came out after. Yo, Moneyball.
It was just a script.
Dude, oh my God. I found that so boring, and I'll tell you why.
Because it's so baseball. It's baseball.
I guess it was the hype. There was so much hype around it. You got to see Moneyball. You got to see Moneyball. I watched Moneyball, and I was just like, yo, this is the worst. It's just so boring.
One of the best sports movies ever. Legit.
You don't like statistical regressions and stuff?
Yeah, let's watch math and baseball.
So good.
Exactly.
Let's watch math and baseball.
Yo, dude.
That'll make it extra good. You know, baseball was already like super entertaining. Let's add math in there.
I could see why you
It's a
wouldn't like
beautiful
it if
mind
you
being
don't
to league
like.
of their own.
I don't know. It's like everything because I already knew the team. It's Brad Pitt. It's written so well. It's like
I knew the
the
story.
intricacies of baseball. It's like written for me. But Lisa loved it too, so I don't know.
Well,
on Tyler's face, and he's just talking about Moneyball. Like,
Well, do you like sports movies though? You don't like Christmas. You don't like tacos. Do you like any sports movies? Like Remember the Titans? At least that's like
Sandlot. The Sandlot.
He likes rookie of the year.
I feel like I'm being bullied.
He likes
No,
Air
do
Bud.
you?
Air
Do
Bud
you
is
like
his
him?
favorite sports movie ever.
Air Bud.
I can't pick one. There's
We're gonna see Air Bud.
Major League, man. Major League.
She's the man.
Joanna Man.
That's a classic.
League
Air
of
Bud
Our
2. Air Bud 2 straight to VHS.
I saw Miracle 2 weeks before it came out, and that was like maybe the most hype theater I've ever been in for a sports movie.
Oh, that'd been cool. I haven't even watched that yet.
I don't remember
Miracle?
even the last time
I mean, I've
seen
heard the story
sports movie.
562 times. You know what I mean? Like,
That movie is next level.
Which one?
Yeah.
That's the hockey thing, right?
Yeah.
The Olympics.
America beats the
I
Soviet
can't
Union.
believe you've never seen that. That
I've
movie
never
is
seen it either, man.
amazing.
Don't worry. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I've
I
never,
plan
Oh
to see
my
it. I plan to
God.
see it. I've just been told that story. I think there are like.
I don't think it really matters.
I never.
I think you're right. I think I would love it, but I mean, I just did. Nothing got me to go to it immediately.
No,
I forgot
Esteban,
about
I
it.
get it. I get it. Maybe he doesn't like sports, but are there any? That's why I was asking. Are there any sports movies that he does like? That's why I asked that question, and
I
then
like
he hasn't
Blades of
answered.
Glory. That's probably my favorite sports movie.
Rocky 3?
One with Will Ferrell and John Heater, where they're the ice skating duo.
Oh, that.
Yeah,
movie
that's
is
funny.
Longest, the
Clubber
longest
Lang.
yard.
When they
Shaolin
finally
Soccer.
pulled off the Black Lotus, I'm like, wow. That was
What about
majestic.
Rudy?
The
Oh,
fighter?
yeah, Rudy.
The Fan.
The Last Boy Scout.
Would the fighter be considered a sports movie?
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
a boxing
That was
movie.
good.
I have Rudy signed by Rudy.
Yeah.
I mean, just a guy named Rudy in your
Rudy
town.
signed by Rudy. You got Sean Astin Scott.
No, signed by actually Rudy.
Oh, the
Warrior.
real Rudy. Fuck
There
yeah,
it is.
nobody wants
The
the
real
Rudy.
Is Warrior considered a sports movie?
Yeah, definitely. That movie's
Yeah.
fucking
That's-
That one
amazing.
with Joel Egerton and Tom Hardy.
Yeah, that's
That
my
movie-
favorite. My favorite sports movie of
So
all time.
good, man.
That was a good movie.
Wait, The Warrior? Are you talking about the MMA movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good movie. That's
Yeah.
probably the only good MMA movie, and it was decent.
Are there other MMA movies?
Yeah, there's a bunch of terrible ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are there?
He's consistent.
I can only think of one other one. I don't even know what it's called.
The wrestler.
There's a handful. You'll find them on Tubi.
Yeah, that is the kind. It's usually like not English.
I love
No, they're
Tubi.
in English.
Tubi is the shit, man.
Mhm.
Yo,
What about
Tubi has such an.
Bloodsport? Is that considered a sports movie? It has sport in the name.
Which one?
Bloodsport.
Bloodsport.
Yeah, that's a good MMA movie.
Starring Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, that's a precursor to
Polo
MMA movie.
Right.
It's like what Lou Reed is to punk rock.
When you get to the glass scene and they're putting their hands in the glass. Hell
It
yeah.
says he is from the Tanaka clan. You don't look like Tanaka. Tanaka was my Shidoshi. Yes. Yes.
Last Boy Scout's a sports movie, right? Just for that great scene at the end where he
Which
pulls out
one?
a gun on the. You guys remember Last Boy Scout?
Oh,
Oh,
Bruce
Bruce
Willis.
Willis.
Right?
No,
Huh?
it was a. Was
No,
it
there's
Bruce
two
Willis?
Last Boy Scouts, and the one's with Bruce Willis.
With
Oh, I'm
Keenan
thinking about the
Ivory
one
Wayans.
with.
Keenan
Jeez, I
Ivory
can't remember.
Wayans.
Yeah, with Keenan Ivory Wayans. He pulled. I mean, the famous scene is where he's like a running back running towards a
Damon
touchdown,
Wayans.
and then he pulls out a gun and starts shooting.
You talking about with
Yeah, it's-
Damon Wayans?
Damon Wayans.
Or maybe it
Bruce
is
Willis.
Damon Wayans.
Damon Wayans and who?
Bruce Willis, no?
Bruce Willis. Yes.
It is Bruce Willis. We're
Yeah.
talking about the same one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting confused. I don't know if there's
My
that.
favorite-
That sounds like a children's movie too, So I was like, I don't know.
Wow. My favorite sports movie is King Richard, starring Will Smith as Serena and Venus's father. It transcended the screen that he was able to channel that character on the stage of the Oscars and slap the shit out of Will Smith.
Yeah, get out of here.
Now it all makes sense.
Yep.
Did you guys watch
I'm
the
not-
Chris Rock stand up?
Yeah. Yeah, it
That's
was
pretty
funny.
good.
Cool. Major League. I saw that in the theater. That was terrible.
Yeah, I said the fan.
Oh, not Major League. I'm sorry. No, my bad. I'm sorry. I take that back.
The one with
Yeah,
the
Major League's great.
swimmer.
Yeah, I take that back. I meant League of Their Own.
Yeah, with Robert De Niro as or like
It's not
I
my
think it's
favorite, but I like it.
I'm trying to remember who is the stalker in the movie. It's Wesley Snipes and Robert De Niro.
That is a fantastic movie, The Fan.
Yeah, it was good.
I just love Rosie O'Donnell.
I think I literally watched The Fan on Tubi like a year and a half ago.
My wife
I think I
calls
really
Tubi the Ratchet platform because
Yeah,
you go there
Tubi's-
and watch like The Flavor of Love and
Yeah.
all the VH1 dating shows.
Tubi is the
Rock
world
of
star
Love.
hip hop of streaming.
The Replacements. Keanu Reeves.
I like The Replacements.
Oh, the Keanu Reeves with the
easy.
kids. The
That's
kids
good.
play baseball. That was good.
Hardball. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Point Break. That's a great
Any
sports
given
movie.
Sunday.
Yeah, that's the extreme sports, but yeah.
Yeah, Point Break.
No, he's
Point
a
Break's
a
one of
former
the best
football player, right?
action movies ever. Yeah, I
He's
even like the
a-
new one.
Yeah, former.
What was the Marky Mark? The Marky Mark real story movie where that was about the guy that got drafted without being in the NFL. Whatever.
Invincible.
Invincible.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
I only know I haven't seen the movie, but I know that from watching It's Always Sunny.
Would you
James
consider?
Invincible.
Would you
My
consider the
brother's a
running?
big fan of that real guy, the real person who got drafted. I don't know his name.
Would you consider the Running Man a sports movie?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Anything
It's a
with
game
Jesse the
show.
Body Ventura is a sports movie.
Right? He does the whole fitness scene. He's
That's
like, "Come on,
probably
get it, ladies, get it!"
I need to watch The Running Man again. I love that. That was one of those movies that used to come on like at noon after wrestling on Fox when you were a
Yeah.
kid.
It's
And,
free
like-
to watch on YouTube. It's one of the free YouTube movies.
The soundtrack.
Yeah, but one of them that was like cut down like for TV, and then like you'd watch it when you were a teenager. And, holy shit, this is even better. You know, like you get the director's cut.
The chainsaw's a part of me. I'm going to make it a part of you. That's okay.
Yeah.
You keep it.
Yeah, I love
I
that.
remember for a long
neon
time.
fat
Sub-Zero.
I think
Uh-oh.
the soundtrack for Bloodsport was really good too. It was like everything was specifically made for those scenes. Like when they have
Yeah.
the fight scene and they just keep going, Kuma, Tay, Kuma, Tay, Kuma, Tay. It's like, yes. It's got that.
I feel like
80s
Remy
rip.
watched Bloodsport last night.
He's got it on
I
right
love
now.
it.
Yeah.
It's so good.
If you couldn't tell
Dude,
by
Bloodsport's the
siren,
best
I
and
knew it was
kickboxer.
Like, put up your dukes.
Yeah, we hear
Yeah.
you, Jay.
Jesus Christ. Sirens and gunshots. I don't know what's worse.
Well, definitely the gunshot.
Yeah. I think it's
I don't
easy.
think, I don't think it shouldn't be close,
I
really.
think if you sat and thought about it for a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, the gunshots are like bang, 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 and then with the siren, it's just like a prolonged stretch noise. So
Well,
I'm
one
gonna
could
have-
kill you. Or annoys you.
You're right. The sirens, depending on. a few
Yeah.
things.
Be like, oh,
One
all right.
warns you. One warns you there's danger. The other one is the danger.
Yeah.
That's true, I guess.
Depending on your ethnicity, maybe the sirens are worse. You know.
Jesus Christmas. Oh my god. Raging Bull. Goat sports movie right there.
That De
Oh, that
Niro.
is.
Yeah.
That's up there.
There's a ton. Rocky, Creed.
I need to rewatch Raging Bull too. Shit.
Esteban, where did you live when you lived out here? Freaking sirens. And you know why it's like a prolonged thing, right? Because it's like there's cars double parked. So today is alternate side street parking. So you can't park on one side. So then it's like the cars that are parked on the correct side, and then the cars are double parked. So then it's like the ambulance trying to pass by while the cars that are double parked. It's just like the worst.
Doesn't seem like a great system.
It doesn't. That's why I welcome the gunshots, sir.
Yeah. Unless it shoots a guy that is double parked and now he can't move, so now there's just traffic all day.
Norin says the Mighty Ducks. No one's mentioned that yet?
Probably did
That's cool, but it is. I love the Mighty Ducks, but it really is the start of all the terrible Disney sports movies that came out for the next 20 years.
I agree. I
Yeah, I
like the
think
cartoon, man. The cartoon is pretty cool. They
The
didn't
cartoon's
even bother to watch the continuation of the Mighty Ducks that they came out with this past year. My brother actually
Season
did.
1 was great.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. He was like, he was actually into it.
Season 1 was so good.
I didn't. I'm not that into the whole franchise to follow it for movies and a show.
I loved all 3 of the first Mighty Ducks.
I loved them too. Bearded Comic Bro also loved season 1. He kept telling us how good it was.
Oh my! If you liked the trilogy, you have to watch that. Like
No.
legitimately, it was so good.
I missed out on the Mighty. I missed out on the Mighty
The
Ducks.
second one. The second one is just where he flips the puck sideways before he hits it, right?
Mighty Ducks was kind of like Power
The
Rangers
knuckle
for
puck?
me. It was
The
right at
knuckle
that
puck.
edge.
Yeah, that's the one where they're for Team USA. And then 3 is where they go to high school that looks like a college.
Yeah, I skipped that one.
That one's also great.
I doubt
I
it.
watched number 3, but long,
it
when it
is,
was new.
definitely. Like I don't think it's as good as 2, but it's still great.
Well, what do you call 2 if 3 is great?
2 is great.
I've seen all 3.
I said
I
2
don't
is
remember
great.
any of them.
I've never seen any of those movies.
Did you see the follow-up, the sequel that took 8 years to make, Bloodsport 2?
I did. It's awesome.
Just
It's also
jacked
awesome.
Yeah, John Claude
Yeah.
Van Damme was killed in the opening scene.
Yeah, he's not even in it.
Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah.
Nice.
He gets shot in the back of the head at an airport, right?
Yeah.
Yo, spoiler alert! I was just about to watch that.
I can't remember who the actor is who takes his place, but he was in a lot of stuff in the 90s.
Nobody can. He's one of those. You're that guy.
Michael Dudikoff.
I think it was the same guy that played American Ninja.
I was going to say American Ninja. That's what it reminded me of, was American Ninja, which no one remembers for some reason.
I can't remember that dude's name.
Yeah.
He was in so many movies. You talk about somebody that doesn't get enough credit. I mean, how many American Ninjas were there? Like 33?
4.
Something like that. Bloodsport 2 was pretty good, though. People hate on it because it doesn't have Van Damme, but it was still pretty cool.
No,
you guys,
Bloodsport 2 was good.
You guys
was
laughed
there.
at me. It was Michael Dudikoff.
Michael Dudikoff.
Yeah, he was legit.
Nobody mentioned Ong Bak. Ong Bak's a sports movie. I like Ong Bak.
Tony Jaa, yeah, Ong Baks are fantastic. You know what's crazy? You know that I think it might have been in Ong Bak too, when he runs head on at the elephants, guys. Like in their the culture, like they get in tune with the elephants, and he runs up the elephant's trunk and gets on top of it, and he does that thing where he plants his hand on its head, and he stops it and it lays down. He's doing that in the movie. It's in the jungle and it looks digitized and all that, but he legit did that. What they did is they took a bunch of elephants, had like 8 or 9 of them. They put them into like an exterior tunnel where they just put up like wooden slat walls to keep them like kind of focused, and they stampeded them. And Tony Jaa ran straight on at him in this kill tunnel, up its trunk, got on top of it, and stopped it and stopped the herd. Literally did it because that's something that they really do. But you only get one shot at that. Like you die if you misstep.
Yeah, you only get
what
one
movie
shot.
is this?
You cannot miss your chance at all.
It's about Muay Thai fighting and like the culture and everything with Muay Thai. And Tony Jaa is like probably the most underrated like stuntman actor for martial arts stuff that's ever lived. Like he makes Jackie Chan look like a training facility guy.
Yeah, I'm a bounce. I'll catch that later. I got
all right, D-Day. Yeah, he's fantastic. I mean, he's really good.
All those movies are good. The Protector and Ong Bak 1, 2, and
Yeah,
3.
all about Ip Man. You see the Ip Man movies with Donnie Yen?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what studio was putting all that out. Donnie Yen's
another
fantastic.
Yeah, Donnie Yen's another one. I mean, I got into him with Ip Man, but when you talk about his speed, it's crazy. I was thinking of a sports movie if it qualifies, because somebody brought, like Roscoe brought up Dodgeball. I'd say Dodgeball totally is a sports movie.
Oh yeah.
ESPN 8, the Ocho.
Yeah.
Basketball. How about basketballs? That's
definitely baseball.
Dodgeball
so
is
good.
Basketball, I love basketball.
I love
dude
basketball.
In the fucking drawer and shit. Like, go to your home, bitch. He was all in the like fucking dresser drawer and shit. Damn, I was trying to think of a movie if it called, because there's so many sports movies, man, that you wouldn't really consider a sports movie, but they are.
Yeah, I think if anything is mentioned, it's automatically a sports movie.
Titanic. It's a swimming. That's about swimming, right?
No, it's got to be like
They were
in a
playing
sport
shuffleboard.
still. If
Weren't
they
playing,
mentioned a sport in the movie, but I don't think they do.
What about when they're kicking the piece of iceberg around on the like a soccer ball?
Soccer. Yep.
That is borderline. That is a good argument.
Yeah,
We
I
got
mean it's
two
curling.
sports
It's basically a
They made
curling
a
movie.
sport out of it.
Yeah,
And
I at least accept
it
that
starts with
argument.
competition poker.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
I've never seen Titanic. Is that funny?
Not at all. It's actually a
Never
problem.
seen Titanic.
I never watched.
They're always like,
I'm so broke. I can't send another blanket out, but give me your address.
yeah, we know Nick's got one.
I'm trying to.
Come on, man. Titanic. That blows my mind.
I gotta
Yeah,
buy.
how have you not? You know that's like the Chris not seeing the Princess Bride, or like how have y'all not seen these like?
At least The Princess Bride is like a niche
culture.
movie. Titanic is one of the biggest movies ever made.
It is, and I was so excited about it when I saw it in the preview of like Blade or some shit like that. Whatever movie I went out, I thought it looked so cool because it was all the preview was all the ship being destroyed, and then pretty quick that goddamn Celine Dion song got famous, and like Teenage Chris. Well, I don't. Teenage Chris just immediately turned it into a girl movie, and I'd never went and watched it in my whole life. Like just in my mind, it switched. Yeah. So I almost
you never forget Jack, and I mean,
I'll cry. I almost went and watched like the 20th anniversary. It was in the theaters a while back. I almost went then.
Yeah, it was on Valentine's Day weekend.
Oh, it was recently, right? I wasn't sure if it was like 2 months ago or 2 years ago.
Yeah, there was a 2 involved. Yeah, it was Valentine's Day weekend. It came back in 4K, like it was just the upscaled version, and it was in 3D because James Cameron.
Yeah, so I would have gone to that. I just forgot.
And if you go to one of the new theaters, that they have those like rumble seats, like when the ship actually hits the iceberg, you can like feel it around.
The D-box, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually fill the theater with water so you too can drown.
Start going down with the ship. The concert people come
People come into the theater and start splashing you in the face when the water's ice cold water in the face.
The screen just moves above you over your head. You're oh shit. This isn't good.
It's the worst.
Well, I don't know if this is true, but I remember when Twister came out, someone told me, and this is one of those 90s things. I don't know if you guys watched Pocan Joe's recent video about his bass or whatever. I was trying to think of ones where someone told me this and I just believed it. And I just thought of one was someone told me that when they were watched that in like Kansas or something, they were watching Twister and a tornado just like destroyed the roof and people thought it was part of the movie. And I believed that for 25 years. And it's got to be false. That's got to be not true.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, Twister.
I never heard.
They just thought it was like a 4D experience.
Yeah, but in like 1995, right?
Holy shit! 95-mile-per-hour winds in this theater. This is some crazy shit.
Well, they really went out. They really went out of their way in Wichita, Kansas, to remove this roof.
Talk about a dedicated theater.
I've never felt so engrossed in a film.
I imagine they wouldn't want to see the movie. They're just like, this happens to me every weekend. Why am I going to go watch? Why would I pay to watch?
Was it a one-time showing, or did they
go to my backyard?
Yeah. Oh, you guys are running away from a tornado? Oh, okay. Let's go watch.
Like, I saw a cow fly across my windshield this morning. I don't need to see that shit on the TV.
Yeah. No. Look how
that was actual 3D.
They're actually making Twister 2. Have y'all heard that?
I think that's another one of those. I've heard that for 25 years also.
Dodgeball 2 is in the works, though.
Yeah, Dodgeball 2. Both those in post-production.
I watched Twister maybe 5 or 10 years ago, and it was because that was like really. I feel like Twister was like the first super summer blockbuster where now we're just going to do those in the summer kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
With like great. How the fuck would you know? Tyler, you were 2 years old.
I saw Twister in theaters.
I was born in 2000. It came out. It came out after that.
97.
I just remember like the special effects for it at the time were just next level. Like that was like early.
He said, "I'm done."
Yeah.
You weren't even alive. You're like, yeah, I was. I'm
Oh
out.
my god, he just deleted his channel. Can you believe that? What a response!
What'd you do, Tyler?
Wow, Chris, I'm sorry.
And we'll try again.
I have seen that movie. No, you
I got so angry by Tyler's lies, I hung up.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I said I thought he
Tyler
deleted
enraged
your
you that
channel.
much.
Yeah. So this is bullshit. I'm leaving. Except, it doesn't have the same effect as it did in 1995 where you can slam the phone down. Now I got to just press a button.
Yeah.
There's one thing I miss, being able to slam the phone.
I like the cell phone where you could click it shut.
Oh,
Yeah, but the person on the other end doesn't see it. Yeah.
But
I tell my
felt
wife I'm
so
slamming
good.
this button right now.
It felt so good just to slam that.
I was
bitch
going
shut.
to mention this going back to Twister talk because the special effects for that movie were a big deal. It got a lot of press and really drove that movie. The computer and the cow going by. Oh,
Yeah,
another
first one.
cow. It's the same one. But the
state-of-the-art.
Twister experience ride thing at Universal Studios in Florida was fantastic. And it really kind of like pulls the curtain back on like movie practical effects too, because you're on a set that's an interactive set that you're pretty much in a house and they have like a tornado come through and like you see like the house is coming apart around you, but you're perfectly safe. But it was super cool. Like the wind blowing, the lightning strikes. It was dope. And then at the end of it, it all comes back together. It's really cool.
That sounds like Earthquake in Universal Studios Hollywood.
Yeah, it's the same thing, same
Same thing.
principle. Yeah, but just themed after a different movie. And not in California.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine the
It's
Universal
in-
Studios
it's in-
Florida had Earthquake too, though, didn't they?
I don't know. I went to the East Coast Hawaii's
Yeah, East Coast
Universal
Hawaii.
Studio. East
I went
Coast
there with
Hawaii.
Walmart. Yeah.
Yeah.
They had the Terminator experience as well.
Oh hell yeah, dude! That was the best. Like the 3D
robots
thing.
came out from the sides.
Yeah, and then they come in dressed as Arnold and shit. Oh man, I love that. Terminator 2 is still like the greatest action movie that's ever existed.
Yeah, Terminator was awesome.
I think it is. I mean,
It is.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't even debate it. Like you could debate number 2, not the movie. I mean, whatever the second place movie is, but Terminator 2 is the greatest action movie ever made.
Yeah, I mean, the only way I would debate it is like for Bloodsport, but that's a different kind of action.
Yeah, that's a sports movie.
It's a sports.
Yeah, that's the sports movie.
It's sports,
that's
action,
the only
entertainment.
reason it doesn't
It's
qualify.
sports first, it's action second, so that doesn't count.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see how someone wouldn't be Terminator 2 is what I'm saying. Like if it's like my dad likes those movies, but he was more of like a Lethal Weapon Die Hard guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like that kind of action.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with those. I like both of those movies too. And they're just not Terminator 2 level cinema though.
Yeah,
I don't think they tried to be that level of cinema either though. James Cameron decided to just set the standard when he did that. I mean, the level of special effects, the scope of the movie itself, like everything about Terminator 2 is elevated above a movie like Die Hard or Lethal Weapon.
Pretty sure Justin's about to say he likes Terminator 3 better, but I'm gonna wait. What were you about to say, Justin?
I'm a Terminator 3 guy.
I believe Terminator 2 is a sports movie. It's the sports hide and seek.
Hide and seek.
There's also arcade games. There's motocross in it.
Motocross, yeah. It was hide and seek, which should be an Olympic sport.
Have y'all seen that movie? Have
What?
y'all seen hide and seek?
Yeah.
You know that Robert Patrick trained so hard for that role that he was legitimately outrunning the dirt bike and when they were leaving the mall. Yeah, John would rev down.
Like, all right, go.
No, Edward would crank down, and Robert Patrick would catch him. He'd catch him every time.
Slow down.
Yeah, they had to slow him down.
Motherfucker said, "I'm going to catch him." Here I go.
I have no idea what movie you guys are talking about.
Terminator 2.
With
Esteban, yeah, unless you.
Oh, I thought you were talking about a movie called Hide and Seek. It lost me.
Esteban, you're gonna have to tell us what is, or Terminator 2 is, unless you can prove us wrong. Prove me wrong.
Esteban, just say Avatar. Just fuck with him. Just say Avatar.
I would disagree with you on that. I like Terminator 2 way better than Avatar. Way better than Avatar. But
Aliens
Hide and
by
Seek is a
timestamp.
fantastic movie starring Jeremy Renner, Ed Helms, Hannibal Buress. It's about a group of friends that played hide in real life story that was in a newspaper. Group of friends that grew up together and they kept playing hide and seek or tag. It was tag, not
Yeah,
hide
that
and
was Tag. Hide and
Yeah,
Seek
yeah,
is the
Tag.
creepy
Horror
one with
movie,
Dakota
yeah.
Fanning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have y'all seen Tag though? That shit was
Tag
hilarious.
is good, and they're coming out with the Tag too. I think.
Yeah. They should come out with Freeze Tag where it's Sub-Zero playing this game.
Just everyone just standing still for the whole movie.
Yeah.
Freeze,
There's like 5 minutes of
Sub-Zero.
action, but he just freezes everyone and then he just sort of sits there.
They just bring all the Freeze guys like Mr. Freeze and Captain Cold and have them all in one movie playing Freeze Tag.
That'd be funny. Well, I mean, that would not be. I mean, because they wouldn't be able to freeze each other.
Some of them could. Mr. Freeze could freeze Captain Cold.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
What's the Marvel freeze character? Because I mean, DC has 2.
What is
Yeah.
that?
Well, DC has a lot more
Just
than you.
Iceman.
Icicle, you
I
have
guess it's
Killer
Iceman.
Frost. Well, yeah, of just the bad guys, you have Iceman or Icicle, Killer Frost, Mr. Freeze, Captain Cold.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, what's wrong with DC that they just need to keep doing that?
Right. They have so many.
You think
they
of
have a range
Killer Frost was just like a girl version that came later. But
I guess
Captain
Thor
Cold
has a
was
whole race
Super Age,
of ice.
Mr. Freeze's Golden Age.
What else is Marvel? Iceman, but who else?
I mean, who cares? I'm just kidding.
Right, that's the
I don't know.
DC
Everyone that buys
already got you
comics. Everyone that buys comics.
DC's already got you covered.
I think
That is
JB's
true.
back.
DC has plenty of ice people, and
Yeah, if you need, you just go to Mortal Kombat. You get
Just for
all
the
we need is
record,
Iceman anyway.
Justin typed smoke bomb into the private chat right before he jumped off, by the way.
Oh.
Ninja vanish.
No problem. I didn't ask Justin if he actually bought Zelda. I think I'm going to buy Zelda and play my first video. Well, I guess I've been playing Mario. I'm going to play my first video game.
I'm going to read these in reverse order. Well, Dread, that would be one to be a contender. John Wick 1 through 3 are fantastic. I don't think they come near Terminator 2. The Raid Redemption 1 and 2 are great. Martial arts films don't come near Terminator 2. Atomic Blonde, hard pass altogether. Planet Terror is a post-apocalyptic romp through Crazy Train. Kill Bill 1 and 2 are fantastic, but they have action scenes, but calling them action movies that would be a different thing altogether for me. I don't put anything Tarantino under action. And Dread, I'll tell you right now, Dread is fantastic. That's up there. Dread is next level.
That would be good competition for Terminator 2.
I mean, Dread is great, but it's not in this. It's not in this conversation.
I don't think it's in the conversation.
You're talking about action compared to like the overall movie.
Yeah, Fury Road, would that be
Fury Road would
action?
be a good one.
Yeah.
I think that would have to be in there, right?
Yeah,
That's up there. I mean, I think what we have to remember about Terminator 2 though is like how important it was to all of these movies.
Yeah,
how big it
for
was.
sure.
Yeah, that's the reason. Yeah.
Yeah, if you look at
And it has
Terminator
staying
2 up
power.
to today's standards, I still say it's the best one. But if you put it back into the context of when it came out, it's untouchable. It's absolutely untouchable.
For me, it's Aliens, and that's also James.
Yeah, a lot of people say
Terminator-
Aliens. That's not it for
Terminator
me,
2 is
but
right. Terminator.
Y'all want
2
to hear
is right
something
there,
crazy?
I love Aliens too.
Who was talking about it? They were watching the podcast with Michael
there's no
Biehn,
two.
who is he played Kyle Reese in the Terminator movies. When he was filming Terminator 1, James Cameron was writing scripts in between shooting on set for Aliens and Avatar.
Mm-hmm.
And Michael Biehn, the actor, was like, asked him what it is. He goes, This is a project coming down the road. He goes, what's this one? Avatar. That's something that I hope I get to make one day, but we're not there yet.
Yep.
Yeah, Ridley Scott did the first Alien.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter what you think. That's fair. Yeah, you're allowed to be wrong. It doesn't matter what I think. The Seventh Samurai, that's another one that was hugely important to a lot of stuff that came after.
The Warriors.
Alien 3 was David Fincher. which a lot of people don't know. He's a critically acclaimed Oscar-winning director. That Alien 3 just. One of the cool thing about the Alien movies, they're like all almost different genres. All four of the original are like different genre style Alien
They
films.
were.
And they
And
all were under sci-fi, but
that's why I appreciate each one.
I like Alien
and
3.
I know a lot of people shit on Alien 3. I personally love Alien 3
I
because
love
there
it.
were a lot of new things they did. And you got to see like the aliens' perspective for the first time. It was the first time that they went with like an animal type, you know.
Mhm. Which, if you watch the theatrical cut versus the director's cut, it's a different animal.
It was a bull versus a dog.
It's the bull versus the dog. Yep. And if you go with the action figures, it was a cheetah. But they had to make.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So the Alien 3 action figure was boxed as the cheetah alien because they didn't want to call it a dog or a bull, or they had a bull alien toy that had horns and stuff, so they didn't, but if you wanted to buy the action figure that was modeled after the Alien 3 critter, because there wasn't an Alien 3 line, it was just the Aliens line back then, and they did wave after wave of toys, and we do different, and I mean there's a Cobra alien and all kinds of stuff, but they're fun toys.
Yeah, there was a rhino, there was a snake, there was a
I've got one sitting right here.
At that time, they were already, if you read those comics, they were already talking about like microscopic xenomorphs and stuff. Because the military, the power look, the military was trying to like, use that technology for everything.
Well, by the time Alien 3 came out, you've had years and years of expanded universe with the comics diving into stuff and everything. Even like Prometheus with the engineers, that had already been explored in the comics. The space jockey.
I love that. I mean, I loved all that Prometheus and Alien coming in after that. I hope we kind of get to see the continuation of that.
After seeing what 20th Century did with Prey, I'm excited to see what they'll do with the Alien franchise now. Really am.
They're working on a. Is it a Predator movie that's like way back in time?
I know everyone immediately
Wild West.
They wanted a feudal Japan Predator era movie, like Samurai.
That'd be epic.
There's fan made stuff, like high end fan made short films that have been out for over a decade of just that. But I wonder if they're
both. I've heard feudal Japan and I've heard the French Revolution, and it's like these are the two because they hinted at the French
4-foot angry man running around, have Napoleon fight a predator.
Right. No, I think it's just a wartime setting. I don't think we've seen that in any of the Predator. I mean, you can say Predator 2 because it was.
But after you do Prey, though, then everyone is going to be like, you know what I mean? How do we defeat this Predator with lesser weapons?
Well, that's always the thing, right?
Yeah. And in Prey, I kind of like that. That it wasn't just.
I love Prey.
I mean, if you.
Prey was so good.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, now that we have Prey, a lot of those, if you do a feudal Japan one or you do a, you know what I mean, they're just gonna be like samey.
Sword fights better, really, because Predators. Well, that was one thing that I talked about with Prey. He wasn't necessarily the honorable predator. That guy.
No.
Because like he was fine with just slaughtering. Like most of the Predators want like. I say they want an even match, but they still have this high tech that sets them above the rest. But they always have that moment where they strip down and test their own metal, kind of thing. Even
in Prey, though, all his weapons were downgraded for that time.
It wasn't just that; it was the type of predator too, because they established in the Predators. They established with the Predators with Adrian Brody the different clans of predators, and they don't all have that honorable mentality to them like the hunters we'd seen up until that point.
Yeah,
some are savages, and this guy was kind of in between. He was fine with getting his kill. It was almost like I don't want to say it was bloodlust, but it was more than honorable sporting in Prey.
And they've explored that in the comics too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's a painted picture.
Journey, Abe Lincoln loses. I'm sorry, sir.
If you read any of the Predators or seen any other films, they always hunt. They always hunt in sets. They always hunt in packs. And in Prey, he was all by himself.
In the first Predator, he was by himself.
Yeah, but he was still being watched by other ones. They came and got him as soon as. I mean, it's just like
not in the first Predator.
No, the first one, he died. He blew up the whole
Yeah, the first
jungle.
Predator he
Remember?
self-destructed, and then the government comes
Oh
in
yeah,
and
that's right.
gets Dutch.
But
And
that's that. But in the first
they,
one, it's because he crash landed.
Mhm.
Like I don't think his ship came to Earth. I think it crash landed.
Yeah, the
and
second
shot.
one is when they established that they're always being watched, and then they solidified it in AVP when.
But
when
even
she
in the
takes,
comics, it was like that, where they always like hunt in like 3s or 5s, and one is always in the forefront doing that. They kind of remind me of like the way they set up the Velociraptor crap, where it's like they always have one in the front, and then they always have like 2 on the sides. It's kind of the same.
Did he say, "Hey, Blinken"?
Blinken. Hey, Blinken.
Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Mm-hmm. That's a great movie. Mel
Yeah.
Brooks. What's up, Joe?
Yeah, the Predator stuff is such a great, well crafted universe and stuff. That's why, like, I don't know. I thought that recent comic, like, yeah, this ain't it.
I like the recent. I like the recent comic too. I just didn't like the art. But
It's rough and the gruff.
Yeah, I'd agree on the art.
yeah, I also didn't like Alien art. I thought Philip Kennedy Johnson was doing an okay job, but I just don't like Kevin Coley.
I've liked the art. It's been alright. I wouldn't say it's like mega or anything. Like it's the best art you're gonna see at Marvel, but I thought it was okay. I like that they're going bloody with it at least. You know, they're keeping it in the realm of where it is. It's not all like Disney friendly.
But I'm one of those people that love all the Predator movies, so and all the Alien. I just like them all, so I could see why some suck.
I did not enjoy.
I'd say Alien versus Predator is like they're such a disappointment, I can say, but I still enjoy the films because for me they're more lore and inside those franchises. But
I remember watching Alien vs Predator for the first time and being upset at just the trimmed down level of violence to it, just because that was the first PG-13 one.
PG-13.
I was just mad that they didn't go with any of the storylines they had given us already in the comic.
But they did. They did heavily. Like that in the comic books, it continues. In the comics, it continues from that point. That's like the very first Alien vs Predator volume. Like if you read the first one, after she can, like, I mean, it's obviously adapted, but when the aliens show up to get Scar, get his body and take him back into space, she goes with him and she stays with him and she trains with the Yacha and all that stuff. And then she ends up having like this crazy outing event where she gets like excommunicated from the clan and everything. And but that story continues. Yeah, there's even action.
I like
now.
it.
I think
like
with the
some of
half the Predator stuff, because I remember reading that because I read it in novel form because I collected because all those Alien and Predator and AVP Dark Horse comics they have in novelizations. I've collected and read all those before I did the comics. That was brutal.
I'm just disappointed in the way Dark Horse was putting out those comics in that smaller version. So I read a big chunk of them, but it was in that real tiny one. And that's why I'm not reading. That's why I haven't read on the manga side. I haven't read Lone Wolf and Cub because Dark Horse put them in these little shitty digest versions. You know.
I always watched the movies. The movies were, I mean, before the manga, but I mean, because there's like 6 movies, and most people only know 1. I love Lone Wolf.
I remember when Requiem came out, like me and my dad went and watched that one, and I'm like, dude, this was it. This was violent. This was crazy. It was action packed. And then I start hearing everyone's like, dude, this was terrible. I'm like, what? What?
The only thing I wasn't a big fan of what they did with the Alien versus Predator, and it wasn't the mix and match that I've been used to over the years. It was just it was like the fact that they made him more Predator versus Alien, and I was all like, I don't think that's how it would have worked. I think it would have been the other way around, where he would have been more Alien versus Predator. You know,
talking about the big bad guy.
Yeah, at the very end.
Yeah,
I want to say Requiem for me was the better one. I like both of them. They were good parts. I'm not gonna say they were like just unwatchable, horrible movies. It's not, people are like so like critical. No, I mean, they were good parts. I like how she was like using the alien like stuff as far as weapons, like that they actually showcased that in the movie. That she was using like their head plate.
I haven't watched either one. I haven't watched either one since they came out. I remember not liking them, and even when I went maybe like 5 years ago, I rewatched every Alien, every Predator. I skipped those, so I'll probably go and watch them again. I have them both on DVD because it was just part of the collection.
In AVP, the Predators get taken out. Like you get a good battle, but the Xenomorphs are pretty much severely dominant over the Predators.
Yeah.
But then when you get to AVPR, they send in one predator to clean up their mistake where the ship went down, and he's like the wolf. He's like the Harvey Keitel of the predators. He's the clean guy, and he's like got the cool gadgets, like when they're in the sewer with him, and you see him throw out the little devices, and they click to the wall, and they put up lasers, and it's to keep the aliens in there with him, kind of thing. Like you're like, oh, this dude's a badass.
Yeah.
And he was cool as hell. That was a tough ass predator.
He was kind of like the Frank Dukes of Predator.
Yeah.
The Dukes. Like, okay,
Frank Duke.
Yeah. Like he had all the records, like the fastest knockout, the fastest kick knockout, and the fastest punch knockout. Those.
What the Predators needed to do was challenge aliens to Kumite. Kumite. Yeah. Just have the alien queen just chanting Kumite.
I'd say it's the same caliber as like Alien Resurrection and Aliens versus Predator. They're almost like, I liked Alien Resurrection, but it's kind of like that whole baby alien thing at the end. Like, I didn't need that. Like, I don't know. They're about the same caliber to me.
Is there a Bloodsport 3?
I'm going to jump off here, fellas. I'm going to go watch Bloodsport.
3.
It's 11. I'm about to hop off here too and try to figure out the day.
Me too.
I appreciate everybody hopping on. I don't know if there's
Hasta la
a
vista.
3 or not, but yeah. Everyone have a good one. Oh yeah, tonight
Ciao.
at 9 o'clock in the mix with Remy Q Studios.
In the mix with Remy Q Studios or on Remy Q Studios? Because did he steal it?
Remy Q Studios.
Did he steal it?
He might have. Stick around and find out.